Lee's blood pressure went down. He started sweating profusely.
I think it went up.
Lee, you're a trip, Jack. You ready for 2 more?
Might as well just make it an even
who gives a fuck?
10 at this point.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by Primal Blueprint. Primal Blueprint is a great company that wants to help you burn fat for fuel and revamp weight loss. And they basically want to make you a healthier, better person. So what we're offering you is we're going to ask you to go to primalblueprint.com/Joey Diaz. They have a lot of info. They have a lot of great products. They have the 21-day total body transformation program.
Which Lee's going to go on the 1st of December. He don't know it yet.
Oh, nice.
He's going to be a human guinea pig. First, no more fucking tortillas. It's over, cocksucker.
You heard it here first. I'm going on the 21-day total transformation program. So just go to primalblueprint.com/Joey Diaz for more info. Really, they have a lot of great products. Go just check it out. Primalblueprint.com/Joey Diaz.
Start with the vanilla coconut meal replacement.
Good.
And get back to me, cocksucker.
And when you do that, you're going to get 10% off of your entire order.
Oh, shit.
That's
Not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It is not bad.
That's not bad.
And what else isn't bad? Bidets, because they're back. They're back, Jerry Rocha. Bidets are back, and we're happy. We're happy to reintroduce you again. It's not like we've said it a couple times, but it's just so amazing. We want to introduce you to HelloTushy.com. Hello Tushy makes portable devices that spray your butt clean with water, Jerry Rocha.
That's the best.
No more jumping into the shower.
Can you imagine reading a comic book while cold water is sprinkling your ass?
It'd be the greatest day of my life.
That's it.
Are you kidding?
Who needs a wife?
Right.
What's going on? You still got the girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nobody's getting hit by cars no more. Unbelievable.
She's in Florida right now.
Sure she is.
Yeah, but that's...
Finish it up, Doug.
So go to HelloTushy.com right now to get their portable devices that spray your butt clean with water. Go to HelloTushy.com/church and you're going to get 10% off of your order. That's HelloTushy.com/church. And the show is brought to you by Blue Apron. For less than $10 a meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-proportioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Joey. That's blueapron.com/Joey to get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping included.
Not bad.
Kick that fucking mule, Lee. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wednesday, October 26th. The Church of What's Happening Now. Uncle Joey with his little Goomba, the flying fucking Jew. Jerry Rocha.
Hey.
Bad motherfucking comedian, my little brother for 20 years now.
The best.
Oh, shit.
This is the fucking jam.
Here we go, cocksuckers. Little Madonna for you. 83. Kicking it. My body, I don't mind. Go, Lee. Shake it, cocksucker. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at him. Seductive as a motherfucker. You say you want to stay the night. Oh, shit. It's physical attraction. Kick it, Lee. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Welcome to another edition of The Church. Beautiful Wednesday night here in Southern California. Thank you for dropping in and seeing what's crack-a-lacking. Like I said earlier, my little brother. What's the name of the podcast you do?
The Ramble.
The Ramble. Jerry Rocha, I've known him for years. He's on the podcast tonight. Just to clarify the joke, over the holidays, I've known Jerry since he was in fucking diapers, right?
Oh, yeah.
I met him in fucking...
El Paso.
El Paso. He was selling gum at the border.
Chicle.
I took him home with me, and he stuck around for a few years. Then he left me and went to New York, and he got mugged. I told him no go. And then he got mugged.
It's all true.
And then he fucking came back, and he had a girlfriend, long-legged. She took the dog and the cat. He was heartbroken. So not only the poor girl ain't even at the ASPCA giving up the dog.
Nah, fuck that.
He's already got a new girlfriend, right?
Oh yeah, I moved on.
He's in love. This motherfucker's depressed for a day. He goes to the chiropractor. Boom. He's brand new. I don't know what that chiropractor does to him. I don't know. I have no idea.
You got to go to him, Dr. Mike DiNapoli in Pasadena.
Is he?
He's right down the street from the Ice House.
You still go to that?
He's
guy?
Amazing. It's incredible. The dude is unbelievable. Dr. Mike Mike DiNapoli Family Chiropractic in Pasadena. He is literally, you could walk to him from the Ice House. He's right down the street from the Ice House.
All right. Next time I go to the Ice House at 11 in the morning.
Yeah, he'll
I'll
be
walk
there.
down
He'll
the
be
corner.
there.
I go to the Ice House at 11 and shit. So he gets a new girlfriend, but not that. He gets a special on fucking a thing.
Yeah.
He gets an agent, the manager's going on the road, and he picks up this girl. You know, I know this fucking guy. He's a Latin lover. And over the holidays, she gets hit by a car.
Her
sister gets hit by a car. And Jerry's all caught up. And I had to call him and say, listen, that's your sister-in-law. It's all over. You got shit going on. Call the girlfriend and tell her you're dumping her for a holiday. You can't even be around somebody who got hit by a car.
Bad luck.
I took him to lunch. I fucking met him.
Yeah,
Man. You think I'm kidding?
Wait, you took him on a real meeting?
Oh, we had a...
I'm like, dog, you got to run.
Just the fact that she's related to somebody who
Somebody got hit by a car. Like she was drunk, walking around, and somebody hit her in the alligator state.
By the way,
you gotta go.
By the way, I told my girlfriend that you said that. She loved it. She
Oh,
was
yeah,
dying laughing.
sure.
She's got the best sense of humor, dude. We were just dying about like you were cracking jokes about the fucking Christmas. Like all the shit you were
I can't
saying,
have
like,
you cracked. You're walking around fucking gloomy Gus. You know what I'm saying?
You said for Christmas they need to get her those fucking reflective sneakers.
Yeah, like a reflective suit. You're outside at midnight in Florida walking around looking for fucking butterflies and shit. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Oh god.
I don't fuck around, dog. You show up and you get hit by a car. I can't talk to you for a little while. A couple weeks and shit. I go to the track. I'm based on luck.
Just to test the waters, you have to be safe?
Yeah,
My girlfriend's the same way. She's like, I don't want anything to do with this shit. Why do I gotta go fucking be there?
Yeah,
Like this
what the
sucks.
fuck, this sucks. Because I'm like, now she's gonna string you out, and then you're gonna be at the Miami Improv every 3 weeks. And then they're gonna
The
get
house
listed.
MC.
Yeah, the house MC down there.
You remember those days when you first started doing the road and you would do those clubs that had the house MC and you thought at the time like, oh, this must be like a pretty badass gig, and then you realize it was just a road guy who got bitter. Remember that? It was just a road guy who got bitter and said, fuck, I hate this. I'm never going to go to L.A. Fuck L.A. They were in L.A. for a month. They hated it. And they just go to some fucking town with a funny boner and improv, and they're the house MC for like 7 or 8 years. That would always happen. You remember this? It was, and you remember I first thought, oh, this must be like a prestigious title. Like, I didn't know any better, you know? And then you realize, oh, okay, this guy is just bitter as fuck and got beaten down by comedy so bad, but he can't not do it. So they just become the house MC at like the small little club there.
It's funny because Jerry and I worked a lot of the B rooms, sometimes together and sometimes separate, so we'd report to each other what was going on. And the B rooms at that time, you know, if I was 35, if I was 42, we were working with guys that were my age now. Mm-hmm. And they had a family, and their wife left them.
Yes.
And they were like an AA now, and now they're on the road selling cassettes, T-shirts, Frisbees. God. And you can't. Where do you live, kid? L.A. Oh, you got to be a fucking fag.
Yeah, you just kiss
the
ass.
only way you get a movie is by sucking a dick.
You just suck dick and kiss ass. Like, no, you don't actually. No, you don't have to do any of that.
And even then, guys, with my attitude then, my street fucking vernacular, I would look at these guys and go, first off, I understand their pain.
Yeah,
this is tough.
It's a hard world.
Put a tough goal up there and to attain it, and and God knows what they went through in L.A. But it's tougher to walk around wounded like that. Like I used to look at, because I know for years I walked around wounded after the divorce. Yeah. After my mom died, I walked around fucking wounded. But I didn't think you could ever get that wounded from comedy.
Oh man!
Like the wounded I got was 3-4 days. The longest yard wounded me because I thought more would get out of it. I didn't focus on what I had done. Like, I got in a fucking movie. I'm a fucking ex-felon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a piece of shit. Like, I robbed houses and shit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they let me on this set. People trust me and shit. I'm still stealing
Burt
shit.
Reynolds and Michael
Irvin.
Irvin.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that doesn't make me a better person.
Right.
But just the fact that I had gotten on, like, made me fucking, like, something's going to come out of this. I didn't look at it for what I had done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
Something's going to come out of this. Somebody's going to call me. Nobody ever fucking called.
Right.
So that was a big bitter point. But I never got bitter. You get angry. You get sad. It fucks at you for a month. And you have a good set, and it all goes away.
All gone.
So it all goes away. You get a good set, and somebody licks your nutsack, and it all goes away. You're brand fucking new.
I remember you called me. I'll never forget. This is how you know, like, we're like, that you're like the older brother I never had, you know, like, because you called me the night that I got bounced from Last Comic Standing. And you told me, you said, look, dude, it's going to feel like you got hit in a place you never knew existed. But you also said, it's only going to last about a week. That's it. And you're going to be fine. And I remember you told me, said the best thing to do is just go to a spot somewhere. Go to a spot for, a couple of nights in a row, and you're going to have that one home run, and you'll be like, oh, okay.
Listen, the people who listen to this podcast, I'm no Phi Beta Kappa. But I know about one thing, recovery.
Yes.
I know from recovery, from getting beatings in recovery.
Right.
I know from physical beatings to mental beatings to emotional beatings.
Right.
I know the recovery route to all three of those beatings. The fucking the beating. You put a stake on your eye.
Hey.
And you stay in until the bruises disappear. The other shit, nobody knows you have bruises.
Right.
Nobody really knows you have bruises. So they don't know, I know at times in my life I had mental health issues that I cleared up. There's a month, you do 20 days of blow in that month, your mind goes somewhere. It didn't take me till after I came out of that trance to understand that. The emotional shit, that's the long one. I read a great article in the New York Times about Patton Oswalt. If anybody knows what's going on with
he said
Patton
he'll never
Oswalt,
be 100% again.
It's the saddest thing.
Yeah.
Well, listen. You never think you'll be 100% because how bad you feel inside when you mourn a loss.
And that's one of the worst ways. I mean, there's no good way to lose somebody you love, but holy shit, the way that happened is just...
It's hard. Man. I every time I see an article about him, I see he's doing well, I know exactly where he's at.
Right.
And I know he's not doing drugs, which is good, because the drugs are temporary, but they take you somewhere else again. Yeah. They take you to a deep spot again, so now you're not recovering from the drugs. You're recovering from the drugs and that fucking darkness that you saw for fucking a week. So I know all about this shit, and it doesn't last, guys. It doesn't last unless you let it.
Absolutely.
And there's no formula. It's not a dog. It's not a cat. It's not a human being. It's not a chick that licks your balls with gasoline on it. It's not a guy who comes on your titties. It's not somebody who has money. You never know what the formula is until it comes right in front of you, and then you go, "Wow, I'm over this." Or at least I feel. With my mother, I could honestly tell you that there's times I go to a dark place now and I tear up thinking about it. So that lets me know I'm really not over it, or maybe I'm over a part of it.
Same here, dude.
Same there
with my dad.
Yeah, but at the other side of it, relationships.
Yeah.
Movie disappointments. I didn't go to Montreal. How do you think I felt all those years? My first 5 years here, if it wasn't for the stupid movies and the commercials I booked that put me on the map in a way, because like I've said 1,000 times on this podcast, you're a struggling comic here till something happens that they see you on TV. And even if it's a small thing, even if you're in a commercial and you just bend over and go, "Hey, it's my lucky day."
Yep.
People, comedy bookers see that. Assistants see that, and they tell the people, "Oh, I saw Jerry in a commercial the other night," and that's it. Not that you're rich or you mean anything. You could hit. You just put the odds a little higher that you're going to have a career in this town.
What about our friend Dustin Ibarra? I met him a few years ago. I was thinking about him today. I met him a few years ago with you at the coffee shop. And now he's about, I just looked at his thing. He's done, every TV show and movie.
Oh, the
and
kid
now
works.
he's about to, co-star on a show with Felipe.
With Felipe, the kid works.
He has a great look.
Yeah, he's got a great
look. He's goofy. He's funny.
And he's a nice guy.
And he's young. All those guys, you see him now. And in 10 years, you see some of them. And there's one or two guys that are bitter. Every comedy thing has a bitter comic, man.
Oh, God. And
I prayed not to become one of those guys.
Do you know when I realized, okay, I don't want to be this guy? It was two things. It was the first guy who was the house MC, and remember, sometimes if you knew the headliner, if you knew the middle, right, you would come in, and this house MC would walk up, and they would always introduce themselves with, "Look, normally I headline," but they would always have an excuse built in as to why they were the MC. Do you remember that? It was always, and you're like, "What, dude? You don't need to tell me. I don't. This just go up. It's fine. Nobody's judging you. But they always have that immediate, okay, well, here's my excuse. Don't judge me. I promise you, I'm a headliner. But fuck. And then they start going off on this rant about it. The other one, I thought, okay, I never want to do that. And then the one that really hit home was when I was in El Paso, at the club working.
El Paso was the place where I did a lot of work in El Paso. You and I were very fortunate.
Yes.
That Bart Reed loved us as a feature act. He used to call me every 6 weeks, and then he'd let me stay 2 weeks. One time, 3
weeks. It was the best. It was the best.
So
because he had a condo, and it was your apartment for a month sometimes.
And people would come by, and it was crazy. And they had a pool.
Yeah.
They had a pool, and it was around the corner from a supermarket that on Friday sold Yucatan
Yeah.
fish soup. So if you did a pound of blow, you walked down to that supermarket. It was next to an Arby's. That's where
Yes.
I realized how bad Arby's had become.
Right.
I went to Arby's like a 98 down there. I hadn't been to Arby's since like the 80s. It was fucking this meat that looked all
it got
fucked up
shitty,
and
dude.
shit.
They got shitty.
But El Paso, you worked El Paso. There was a lot of the Michigan rooms, the Buffalo rooms, all the Yoda runs.
The Yoda runs, are great.
The Yoda runs, the 50% of the Tribble runs.
Some of the Tribble runs were tremendous.
Okay,
some were awful, but some were great.
Those are the runs where you bumped into
Yes.
comics that were very. My first run ever. I started with a guy named David Tribble. I was a host at one of his nights.
And this is in the Northwest, right?
This was in Boulder.
In Boulder? Oh, wow.
He had a night at a bar called The Broker.
Wow.
And when they opened up the Broker was always open. When they started the comedy night, they had a magician who was an old guy. The Broker was known for, in those days in Boulder, there was the Friday afternoon club. Excuse me, had become one of the biggest pickup places in the country.
Oh, wow.
Playboy had even put it in. This place, the Hilton, Harvest Hilton or something in Boulder, was one of the biggest pickup places in the country. And on Fridays, Friday afternoon club, you saw cars lined up all around Arapahoe. It was fucking craziness, you know.
Wow.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
You know, can I tell you this real quick? Where I grew up in Dallas, I grew up in the Village apartment complex, and there was a Tom Thumb grocery store. It's still there, but it used to be in this place called Old Town Shopping Center. It's still all that's still there, right? But that Tom Thumb made Playboy's top 5 places to get laid in America back in the 80s, because it was the grocery store that all the college kids who went to SMU would go to. So you would go there on a Friday or Saturday night, dude. It was like you were in a nightclub. It was just packed. It was like tailgate parties almost. People hooking up. It was incredible. So it's funny you say that, but yeah, I remember those places existed back then. It was like just it's impossible not to get laid if you go there.
So that was the kid one?
Yeah.
And then the adult one was the Broker on Wednesday night.
Okay.
And they had a shrimp bar.
Wow.
And then when I first started going to the Broker, like I was married, and somebody said to me, "Do you want to go for a drink?" I didn't know I was selling cars.
Yeah.
I just gotten out of the halfway house. I didn't really drink, but it would be nice, you know, like you work late sometimes. Let's go and talk business. Me and this guy sold a car. He took me to the Broker one night, and I was blown away. Like it was the cheesiest fucking place ever. You know, guys wore cologne and had a disco ball. And if you went from 5 to 7, they gave away free shrimp. So every mooch in Boulder bought a soda and then could get free shrimp. Like they put a bracelet, like a salad bar, a cheese bar. So let me tell you something, man. That bar was great. Sunday nights, they had 2 movies and a dinner for $15.
That's not bad.
That's
great.
But they were violating copyrights for some reason.
Yeah, they're not paying Universal for this.
Oh, they stole a reel from somewhere.
They would just rent 2 movies.
Go to Blockbuster,
like
put it in.
They put Charles Bronson there. But people would go down there with blankets. It was the cool. Come on, guys. Awesome. Nobody does this shit no more. They would get hot cocoa in the winter when it snowed. So they had a comedy night, and I was just becoming a comedian. Like it was like an episode of Celia Cruz. I'm watching Celia on Netflix. It's in Spanish. It's fucking tremendous. I'm up to episode 22.
Nice.
And it's changed my life. Like it's fucked me up because it made me remember the Cuban person that I am. But anyway, going back to that, I started comedy in July, and in August, in the paper they would put ads for comedy night in Boulder. I would go, what the fuck? I'm a comedian. I wasn't no comedian. I'd been in the States twice. I went to New York. I came back, and they had a contest.
Yeah.
And I went down there, and anyway, I won it. And the house MC was terrible. So I told the manager, I go, you see how many people came to see me the other night? I'll have to do like this every Tuesday. What he didn't know was I was selling Valium. So I'd make people come down there and buy V's, and they would give
That's the way to do a bringer.
Yeah, that's the way to do a bringer show. And I would sell coke, whatever I had that was hot and illegal. You want to buy it, you got to go to the Broker on Tuesday night. And shit. What do you mean?
I can pack this motherfucker.
Oh my God, hysterical. And I got in there and I became family, and I was 28, 29, and then I was just separated. And there was waitresses, And I would talk to the waitresses, and I fell for one at first.
Of course, always.
I fell for one hot waitress.
Those are always the first love of our lives, that waitress.
And she had a boyfriend. I'm trying to win her from the boyfriend.
Oh no, you're gonna steal her?
Oh, I was trying really hard. She was beautiful. And I remember one night we were by a gate, and she said, "I can't do this with you anymore." And I broke down and started crying like a little girl. Dog, I was weak. I was right after my divorce. I was alone.
Dude, I've been there, bro. I've been there, man.
Then January came, and I came out of there. A new stack of waitresses came in out of college. And I started dating this one.
You wiped your tears off.
Oh, my God. I wiped those tears. I told you. You only get depressed for like 3 or 4 days.
It's true. It's true.
And I was sitting at home. This is embarrassing to say it.
Stack of
I won the contest December 18th. And at that time, they were home for Christmas vacation. They had just graduated.
Right.
And I had just seen a bunch of them. And then I didn't get the job till after January. So here I am for 10 fucking days sitting in this house. I swear to God, I got no reason to lie to nobody. I lived in a condo. All right, the condo was up for sale. There wasn't a stick of furniture in this place.
Wow.
Just a cabinet with a TV, a VCR. Upstairs, there was a towel. There was a guy's bathroom.
Yeah.
My wife had been gone for 3 months at this time.
Okay.
The bedroom was just a bed. They even took the box springs, Lee.
Jesus.
I couldn't sleep up there because they took the curtain. I don't know about curtains. They took the fucking curtains.
Wow.
And I would have to sleep downstairs. It was a fucking nightmare. Till this day, these are the emotional beatings you take.
God,
and here I am single. I don't have my kid for Christmas. You know, I'm sitting there. I'm doing blow. I'm living like a doctor because I got like 8 credit cards left. So I was going to Ladizio and getting 30 for lunch, 30 for dinner, 30 for breakfast. You should have seen me signing tabs, having a good old time.
That's on me. I got this.
That's on me. I got this. And then I fucking was heartbroken. And one day I went over there on a Tuesday to do comedy. I started talking to a waitress.
That's how you
Next
do
thing
it,
you know,
man.
we started talking. I saw her the next Tuesday. We started talking. And then I went out for a drink. We did karaoke. You know, she was fresh out of college, and I was like 30 and shit.
What did you
28.
sing in karaoke?
I busted out Michael Jackson, Remember the Time.
Ooh, do you
Had an
remember
alligator
the
bar. It was an
time?
Australian bar with pool tables, and that's where everybody went after the broker. And I went up there and sang it, and I could see she was smoking cigarettes, drinking. I'm like, I got this.
You got this. You got it.
And but she was clean and sober. She only drank.
Okay.
And she didn't even smoke cigarettes. She only drank she was trying to be a wild one.
Right.
So she would smoke. And I fell in love with her. She was a cute fucking girl. So here I was, the host. She was a waitress. I'd be there on Tuesday nights, but I was in there every day for lunch on the arm because she was the owner's daughter.
Oh, wow.
So she'd tell me, come for lunch. I'll buy you lunch. So I would go there. They had the best Rice Krispie treats.
Beautiful.
In the world. They had a buffet, and since I was the king of swing, I could order lunch and dibble from the buffet. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. But that was like, all my other comedian friends at that time were really struggling for stage time. But I had as much time on a Tuesday as I wanted to.
Well, that's great. As a young comic, that's
and
a
every
godsend,
week you
man.
had a right because every week the same people came to the fucking
that's even
show.
better.
So you were forced to write.
You don't want
it
to
was
be the
horror.
guy
What do you
doing the
mean
same
better?
shit.
It was horror.
No, but it makes you better as a
fucking
comic.
Sunday, I would sit in the apartment and
try to write.
Get newspapers from the week. I would just try to write local material.
But that's okay. You learn how to write.
Yeah,
doing
you
that.
learn how to write.
You learn how to write,
shit.
man.
And I remember coming out one time with 2 cups on my tits, like Madonna, for Vogue and shit.
Yeah.
You know, listen, man, I was a young comic. I was in love with this girl. I was divorced. I got a new fucking,
That's great.
Whatever fucking lease in life.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
And that was, and I met Stanhope there. He was a feature there the first time. Kermit Apio. I met Rod Long there. I met a lot of neat guys there. The guy that helped Vinnie Curto write scripts that was a talent coordinator at the store in the 70s.
Yeah.
I met him there. When I came out here, it was like, you remember me? Yeah, how are you? Oh, my God, you're here. You were the fucking host. You were terrible. They were like, oh, my God. I left there going, Jesus, you're here, you know. And
that's great.
I was there for a year and a half, and I pushed the manager. He went to the bookshelf.
Nice.
And I got fired. That was the end of that fucking tour.
Well, you know, in El Paso, with my big kind of like, okay, this is what I definitely don't want to be, was I was working with a dude who you and I have talked about on several occasions. I think you know who that is. And he was on the phone with, the old guy who used to run Addison Improv, Trey. right? And this guy was on the phone with Trey, and I'll never forget. I'm still a middle. I'm still a kid. I still don't know what and I hear him going, "Yeah, fuck L.A. Man, fuck, I'm never gonna. You know what? If they want me, they know where to fucking find me. They can come find me." And I thought, oh, you don't want to be that guy, because no one they're gonna go to fucking El Paso to scout this guy. Like this isn't fucking baseball, Like they don't send fucking scouts out to all the clubs. Like that's not how it works. And that's why I was like, I don't want to be that chicken shit guy who just gets so bitter that they get afraid and they have to just okay, it's like they want to jump on their own grenade. So, they're so afraid of hearing no that they're like, well, fuck it, I'll just jump on the grenade. So I can like nobody can reject me if I don't take a chance at anything. It's just I never wanted to be like that. And it was interesting saying like the way you cope with shit. When my dad died, moving out here is what helped. Right after he passed away, I'm like, fuck it, it's time to go to LA. I'm just wasting I'm just spinning my wheels here in Texas. It's time to move.
I know that people of all ages listen to this podcast, but it's really weird, like to be young and to make that jump.
Yeah,
how important that jump is sometimes.
Dude.
Even if you just stick your head out, like the gopher on February 2nd, look around and go back home after 9 months. Your friend Ashley.
I did that the first time.
Your friend Ashley.
Yeah.
She came, she saw, it wasn't for her.
She was here for a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, she was here for a couple of years, and I'm not mad at her. I don't get mad at those people. They know.
She's killing it in Boston right now.
Yeah, there's some people who go, you know what, I could have done better at home, but at least you got out. You had an experience.
Yes.
And I was telling, before the podcast started, you were asking me where did I live, and I said Snowmass. That we were talking about, I broke into a cheese shop one night. I was at a bar. I was 19 years old, guys. I still had the bug. In those days, you know how some people drink and do stupid things?
Of course.
I would drink and steal.
Right.
I would go crazy.
Now, could you do it sober, or did you have to have a drink in you? You know what I mean? Like
I would be home for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And to unbreak the homesickness. Like I've broken all these things down in my head. Like I was addicted, not to drugs at that time.
Right.
Excuse me, I was a reefer head at that time. When I moved to Colorado the first time, I understood what it was to be a real hippie. It's not those guys with the long hair that stink. It's an attitude. These guys were laid back.
Nothing bothered.
I never understood what laid back was until I went to Snowmass Village the first time in 1983. So I was telling these guys that one night I had this bedroom. Like when I got to Basalt, I moved into a room that had belonged to somebody else that he had to go home because there was an emergency in his family. So all I did when I got there was take the sheets off, flip over the mattress, wash the sheets, and they were mine. That had become my bed. So when we moved out of there, the kid came back and took all his stuff. So the apartment I got with my buddy basically had nothing. I mean, nothing. When we moved in there was a black and white TV, a table, an oak table with a fucking milk crate under it, a couch that stunk. And there was nothing. And the rooms were nothing. So at first I put like a fucking mat down, and I put a sheet over it, and I slept like a fucking Indian, like just on the floor, like Bruce Lee in Fist of Fury, under a tent and shit, like in your room. And the apartment was clean. It was fucking tremendous. The paint, I mean, it was Creekside Apartments, I think, at the time. And they were fucking pretty much new, And his brother, my roommate's brother, also from my neighborhood, was a carpenter on a job site that was the biggest building in Snowmass Village at the time. It looked like a battleship. That's what people called it. They built a fucking battleship up there. So one day I went to meet him, and I go, I thought these things were being built, but they had already a condo that had the furniture, the flowers, the towels, the fucking bath mats, something out of a fucking magazine cover.
Like a model home,
a model home. Nice. So I go in there, I see this shit.
Like an IKEA display.
Yeah, and I go home, I tell Jim, Jimmy, I saw something very interesting today. He goes, what? I go, you know the way your brother works? They got apartments that fucking got furniture. He goes, Joey, we can't do that. I go, listen, you don't have to do nothing. Let me go snoop around.
Yeah.
And on a Sunday night, I went up there. The door was open.
Damn.
Like the realtor left the door open.
Jesus.
I went in, put the light on. I took everything I could. I put it in a circle, including a mattress and a fucking box spring. And I made 3 or 4 climbs. Today, I could never do it.
No.
And I did it between 9 and like 2 in the morning.
Wow.
With fucking wheelbarrows. And then he finally got up. He was drunk. He finally got up. And he helped me carry like.
And nobody
loads.
woke up. None of that shit.
Nothing. There was nobody in the building. There was still under construction.
Yeah.
And they didn't go like apartment to apartment looking?
No. They didn't know. And I went into the fucking one room, and it was all the tools. And Jimmy's like, let's rob tools. And I'll never forget, he got like a bar and stuck it in and put his feet up against the thing. And he started pulling back, and it just broke, and he landed on his back. He's like, ugh. But we went and furnished our whole apartment. It went like, we went from fucking 0 to 100 towels, bat mats.
From an airbed to a full display of everything. Oh my God,
we had everything, a new couch. And finally, the brother knocked on the door, and then he goes, hey, what's going on? He goes, tell me it wasn't you guys. And he came in and started laughing. He goes, trust me, I was thinking of doing it. He goes, throw me the lamp and I won't say nothing. And that was the end of that. We had all this new furniture.
That's kind of on them to build an apartment, not have it be completed and furnish it empty. That you're asking for that to fucking happen.
And no security with Joey Diaz around in 1983. You're crazy.
Come on.
You couldn't leave a nickel down without me clipping it. A nickel. I was a clip from 81. I started clipping heavy, like, let's face it, I clipped for years, like when I was a young kid, little things, bicycles and shit. I knew shit was clipped, and I just turned the other way.
How easy was it for you to spot a mark back then, to be like, oh, I could get that place? Like, oh, fuck yeah, I could get them. Was it like a couple of pass-bys? Could you do it on one sitting? Like, you just see a store for a little bit and go, Jesus, they don't do anything in that back room. Like, I could get
went crazy. I saw a movie called Thief.
Yeah.
In 1981, and that's it. When I was a kid.
Was it like a how-to, the movie? Was it literally like a blueprint?
Really.
Oh, okay.
When I was a kid, in 205 West 88th Street, 2 other families lived in that building that knew my mom.
Oh, okay.
That had known my mom well.
Right.
One was this black lady who was like a seamstress and shit in Manhattan, and they drank at night. I forget what her name was. She had like a mulatta last name.
Yeah, sure.
But the other two that lived in the building were a lady named La China.
Okay.
She was a Cuban Chinese chick.
Oh,
and
nice.
her husband, Monguito. And I was about 5, maybe.
Okay.
And Monguito and me became tight. And I didn't know what Monguito... You know, when you're 5, you don't care what people do.
No, right.
But it got to the point where my mom would go, what do you want to do tonight? And I go, I'm going to order chicken delight and go upstairs and hang out with Monguito and La China. And for the first couple of times, Monguito would be in the bedroom, and the China would talk to me. Then there's one time I went up there, and finally Monguito goes, let him in. And I went in there, Monguito had one of those operations with the spinning wheel.
Oh,
with
shit.
the heavy duty.
Yeah.
And he would take those things that to measure spark plugs. Okay, in those days, and he turned them into keys. And I asked him, what do you do? And finally, he told me he was a burglar. And he would bring me chains and little rings and shit. And that's my mom knew, everybody knew he was a professional fucking burglar. That's what he was. In fact, years later, he went to jail for robbing Mayor Koch. He's the one that robbed
No
Mayor
way.
Koch. This guy was the real deal.
Fuck.
So I didn't see him for years after that, but him and her broke up or something. But I always had that vision of this dude was so cool. He was a thief. So what? I never told my mom and shit. But right away, I started clipping nickels at the bar and rolls of quarters, and my mom would ask me, every time you come around, something disappears.
I had a problem with that, too, as a kid, taking some money.
Always.
Oh, man.
Always. And I wouldn't take it from my mother's purse till I got to be like 8 or 9. That's
right.
What I got for
That's when you got ballsy. Like, I can do this.
And after the first time, I think she lit my hand on fire.
Oh, fuck.
Like, she fucking held it with a lighter, and she was like, listen. I knew it was you.
You got the kiss of death.
Oh, I set you up like a motherfucker, you dumb fuck. I left that 20 waving, and you clipped it, and that was it. She knew I was clipping 20s from the dry cleaner. And again, she would look at me and go, so wait a second. Mysteriously, we lost the 20, and mysteriously, you found the G.I. Joe behind a fucking garbage can in the Bronx. That's brand new. Only you could find the brand new G.I. Joe behind a garbage can in the Bronx.
That's great. I did a club in Orange County one time, and I remember the door guy. I was after hours selling my CD, all that bullshit, and the guy was taking his flashlight. I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he goes, "Oh." Because he was the bouncer. And he goes, do you know how many people drop 20s when they're paying for drinks? He was just right by the bar where the stools were. And he probably made like $400 almost a night on the hot nights there. Because people just take out, they get drunk, they start paying for their cash, just comes falling out, and they don't even notice that they've dropped like $60, $70 just right there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, so my whole thing with thievery started then. Then I was okay, and then when I got to North Bergen, that was it. Those kids were animals.
They kind of.
We were young kids. We were already that given our terrace. We were already savages.
So they kind of enabled you to keep.
So
going.
it mixed all of us little savages together.
Yeah.
There's a story I tell about Raul. Raul was a kid who moved across the street from your house. Not up the corner, not 3 houses up the block. There was a house across from 3515 Given Terrace. I showed Lee. Right across the street from where I grew up, there was a fucking house right there.
Yeah.
And one day, me and my little fucking friends are down the corner and we see the moving truck. And we look at each other and we go, there it is. There's the first score we're going to break into.
Wow.
And they fucking went in, dumped a bunch of stuff, and we counted the guys. They were all gone. They didn't hit the block, and we were already in the backyard kicking in the window. Guess what I take? The stereo with the speakers,
shit.
Okay? I don't know nothing about nothing.
They just got a house, and the first load they bring is gone by the time.
Me and 6 little Goombas, the Olsen brothers, no teeth. You know, who else?
So they bring the second load, and the first load's gone.
Dominic Special was on it. God rest his soul. There was like 5 of us that went on going in and just cleaning it out.
Shit.
And I took the speaker and the stereo. Okay. The next day I get up, there's fucking cops outside. They're asking questions. Even then, I don't know nothing.
So wait, you broke into the house
beautiful.
instead of just taking it from the truck?
Well, no, because they left the truck. They empty out the truck.
And went to pick more shit up.
Yeah, they dropped the first load. They take the truck.
So we're kids. We're 12. I gotta be 12. I gotta be maybe tops. No. I was 12.
If they'd been dumb enough to leave the truck there, y'all would have taken the truck too, right?
Yeah. We would have found somebody to haul.
Somebody would have learned how to drive it.
That was a crazy fucking neighborhood. We could have found somebody. So this is like our first junior heist. We take this shit. I take the stereo.
That's not a bad fucking heist for the dude.
Yeah, but guess what happens? The family moves in, and it's a kid named Raul.
Oh, no.
And Raul was a serious basketball player. He was Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
Okay.
And he was tremendous. We needed this kid on the team. And the first day in school, he's like, I moved in, and somebody broke into my fucking house and took my stereo. So now I became friends with Raul.
Oh, no.
Raul would come over for dinner and shit.
How would you explain it, dog?
You can't go to my bedroom.
Yeah, my mom don't let anybody in there.
For like a year, Raul wasn't allowed in my bedroom. Poor Raul.
Did your mom ever say, why don't you guys go to your bedroom?
No, you told her, I bet, right? Like, man, what would your mother have done had she seen y'all doing
Well,
that?
what happened was, later on, my mom and their mom became friends.
Right.
And then it got really fucked up. So I told my mom that somebody else had stolen it, and I bought it from him.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Did she believe it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And that was because we had a friend, Eddie Lamenka. Eddie Lamenka was a dude that was 5'1", Cuban, had no disregard or respect for nothing.
Oh, man.
So if there was something that you left for a minute,
it's his.
It was Eddie's. And the problem with Eddie was he was lightning in real life. Like you couldn't catch him.
Jesus.
Like you couldn't catch him.
There's no way you could bust him taking shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Eddie would come to your house once a day with something. A jewelry store.
Hey, look what I got.
Boxes. I remember one time we robbed a box of condoms. We went to get ice cream, and we're walking back, and there's a pharmacy. And we robbed a box. We don't even know how to use a condom.
Hey, I bet you.
But everybody got condoms in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Everybody had 2 condoms in their wallet. Look what I got in my wallet.
Felt like a king, man.
I never saw a tit at that time in my life. I'm walking around with a condom in my fucking wallet.
Oh, that's great.
Jesus, yeah. And then there was a kid next to me, Valentine Farrow. And he was a fucking professional bicycle klepto who I adored. I called him about a year ago. He never called me back. He fucked with me for about a week.
Yeah. Was it just pop chains? Could he
Valentine was you with bicycles. This is before the computer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Valentine nor drank, nor smoked.
Yeah.
He was a fucking nerd. Like, if you pulled up in front of Valentine's house and just had a conversation with him with a bicycle, he'd find something wrong with your bicycle and call you an idiot. You're walking around with a stupid fucking bicycle. You should oil that fucking chain, you fucking asshole.
Something wrong with a spoke, and he finds it.
And then he'd go, how come you don't have a sissy bar? How you gonna pop wheelies? I got a sissy bar in the back. Give me $3 later. And he'd come and install a sissy bar.
Damn.
While you were talking to you. He was a genius. He was one of those nerds.
Yeah.
I can't say what he does now, but I saw what he became.
Right.
He was one of those nerdy dudes. And then one day I said something to him. I go, you're looking for a handlebar. I saw a bike tied up. And he's like, what do you think? Can I steal it? And I thought that it belonged to somebody that was selling it, like on 39th Street. And he went and stole it.
Wow.
And like a day later, he took the handlebars, put it on his bicycle, and he built another bicycle from that bicycle. They came looking for that bicycle, and he had it right there. He goes, "What? So never even know it's in my bike." He was a great painter. He taped everything. He took everything off. All that metal he took off. He polished it. He fucking nailed down the serial number and put another serial number down. He was a genius. He was a genius at 12. And he was a speed demon. He would get on the bicycles and go up to the top of the hill and shoot down and shit. Trust me, I can't go into how many bad things I did to him. I got him on a putt-putt one night over the holidays.
Oh,
you know those
shit.
with the long roll ones?
Yeah.
And he fucking hit black ice. But the seat wasn't screwed in. And all of a sudden, he looked right at me and he just let go of the bike. I could live to be 100. And I will never forget that night.
That's amazing.
He did probably, the thing was like a 50cc.
Yeah.
But Richie Vanacek was another nerd with glasses that used to go hunting. And he revved that engine up to like a 75cc. And it was like Christmas. You want a water, bro? And
I'm good. Thank you.
it was like Christmas. And we traded motorcycles. Wow. And fucking sure
that's
enough.
Great, man.
But that was, I knew a lot of kleptos. Yeah. You know, it's funny. When I went to Colorado, I had a friend that was sending me stolen stuff. Lee, couldn't get rid of it.
What do you mean you couldn't get rid of it?
Right now, if I came to you, Lee, and I said, Lee, guess what? I got a truckload of microphones out there, Lee.
Okay.
Every time you start a podcast, you could sell them microphones at cost. Lee's not from that environment. He would not buy it. Lee would not understand. Lee
nowadays, because those
it's a different
are those
environment.
Marked? Can they trace it back to me? Yeah.
When I was growing up, it was very. You would walk into people's homes, and somebody's parents would say, "Hey, excuse me, what size shirt are you? What's the matter? Large. Hold on one second. Mildred, bring out those shirts." They start putting shirts on you, and the family, the father's a salesman. I grew up with a family specifically that I would go to their home to place bets. And every time I go to their home, there was always something. You walked out of there with leather. Now you owed the guy $90. I went in there fucking up 40.
Went to go play a game.
Yeah, I went in there up 40. I had 80 in my pocket to go snort.
And I got a new fucking wardrobe.
I got a new wardrobe and shit. He had a garage that was busting at the seams.
Jesus.
When I tell you guys, he couldn't close it like from all the stolen shit in there. And he would go in there and look at you and go, I just got him a week ago. Hold on. He'd open it up and start pulling shit out of there all over the street. You know, and there'd be shit all over the street. And then he'd find those pair of sneakers for you. Give me 15. Put it on the arm. Come by. Just when are you going to come by with my money? Next week? Okay. Put them on. They look nice on you. Not only was he a thief, like he got them from somewhere. Somebody would dump a load on him. But he knew how to dress you.
Right.
Like you got those black pants with that brown pair of pants. No, come here. Listen, I got some black pants. You're going to look like fucking Al Capone when you leave. You're like 13. You're like, what the fuck? I'm buying pants at a house.
You saw that Eddie Alvarez, Ariel Helwani walk? Remember he walked by a store with the fake Nike shirts? And then he said the guy at the store had been there forever. Just like stolen fake Nike shirts.
Back then, there was really like... I remember because I was a very little kid back then, but I still have those memories of like being like 10 years old, 9 years old. Family does a road trip to Vegas, right? And the minute you get near the strip, 8 dudes were trying to sell my uncle a gold watch, a gold chain. You know what I mean? It was just this back then, right? I don't know if am I wrong? It just seemed like it was just the Wild West for that kind of shit, where people would bootleg any fucking thing, any handbag. Like my aunt was she taught a high school, all Mexican high school in Dallas, dude. You go to the parking lot, and after school every day from like 81 to 87, it was kids selling handbags that were either stolen or fakes, right? All that shit. Just that's all it was, 24/7. It was interesting how there was just no. Like, it was just kind of a thing. And you'd be like, shit, are they going to get busted? And they never got fucking busted, at least that you saw. They were just there every Friday night after school. They would just be sitting there trying to sell shit when school ended. It was crazy.
I never really met hijackers until I got out of North Bergen and came back. And they didn't sell you the stuff. They dumped the whole load somewhere, you know. But it's funny how when my mom had the bar when I was a kid, Italians would come in there with dresses, women's shoes, sneakers. Once they get to know you, they know. They'll look at you before they leave. They already come prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you're 6. You know, some of them would show up with the fucking thing. There's a movie called Family Business with Sean Connery.
Yes, I remember this.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
And
was it Dustin Hoffman?
And Dustin Hoffman.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every scene, in 3 other scenes in that movie, a guy with stolen stuff shows up, and it's fucking perfect at how it was happening in New York in the mid-'70s, because my mom used to go to a bar before we went to a track. I was like fucking 6.
Right.
And I still remember that guy, like in my head, what he looked like. Like, you know, he was selling watches. But this guy in this movie did it perfect. The first scene, he comes in, and Sean Connery's drinking with Matthew Broderick at the bar. And he walks in, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, this is Paulie's guy. Oh, I know your dad. What's going on? How you doing? What do you got tonight? Oh, I got Fabricanos. $300 up and down Broadway. I got them for $90.
Oh, that's badass.
And he goes like this. Like he goes, I got them up and down Broadway. They go for $300. I got them right here tonight for $75. And right away he goes, what size are you? And he gives him the shoes. And right away he's already done. 90. That's just the way it is.
Man.
You bought it. You took it. He knew, and if you didn't have the money, he was fine. He'll catch you next week.
He'll get you next week.
He'll get you next week because he's coming back with a suit.
Right.
But you know that and they were. For you to have these shoes, they were really $300 plus tax. He's got them right there for $75 fucking dollars.
Hey, think about that. Like you were getting the best sale of your life.
And then he'd look at the other guy and go, what are you, a 9? Yeah. Here you
I
go.
got you.
I got you. I got this shit. It was fucking beautiful. Then he shows up at the wake. The dude that owns the bar dies. And this motherfucker, there's 1,000 cops in the room, gangsters, and he walks and he goes, oh, look at all the boys are here tonight. And he goes like this, and all of a sudden 2 little fucking thugs bringing a rack of jackets. And he's like, how you doing, boys?
I got you.
He's like, how you guys doing? All right. This jacket, this is a fucking Italian weave. It goes for $800 all over the east side. I got it right here for $200 cash. What size are you, 42?
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, he always had your number. And then you see him later on at the fucking, when they dump the ashes. He's carrying like a load of TVs and shit up to fucking 5 floors. Those guys are relentless. Those guys wouldn't exist out here. You know, somebody would call the cops on them.
You know who replaced him? And this is what I really think. And the modern day version of heist guys are the people who do those storage auctions, who own those fucking storage facilities, and then the people can't pay them, and now that shit's theirs, and they just sell it. Like how is that any different, really? You know what I mean? It's just a legal way of robbing people. It's just say, here, put your shit in storage. Yeah, $80 a month. Oh, whatever you don't need, just put it in storage. And then people forget, they don't make payments, then they lose all that shit, and they just sell it. They just auction it. There's even a fucking TV show about it with that fucking storage wars, you know? Like where people, I mean, that's that modern day heist.
You ever lose the storage? I did.
My mom did. I was so pissed. All my concert t-shirts were in a box, and I was like, idea it was like, come on. And it was because
Sony Trinitron, a weightlifting bench. I had a fucking mattress that was tremendously comfortable.
How many months did they give you to pay rent?
I paid it for 6 months. And I called. I didn't fucking know the game. I thought you could, I was trying to chuck and jive.
Joe, that shit's like Vegas, dog. Those storage places are like Vegas.
I didn't fucking know.
The house always wins with storage. They always get you, dude. And I've never heard of a good story with the storage, someone putting shit in storage. They always end up like, I fell behind, fuck it, and then all your shit's gone. It's just, I'm telling you, dude, that's the modern heist. That's why I'm never going to do that. Fuck it, I'll just throw it away. I'll sell it. I'll give it to a fucking one of my nephews, one of my cousins, something. But that storage shit, you're just asking it. You're asking to be somewhere in Laredo right now. There's some motherfucker walking around with my Nirvana concert T-shirt, my Faith No More, my Octung Baby. Like they got all that shit. It's man, it's
that's the worst when I had to start from scratch 2 or 3 fucking times. The one time after you were laughing at House MCs. I was a house MC in Miami for 4 fucking weeks.
Yeah, but you weren't a bitter comic. You were just starting.
No, that's the difference. No, I wasn't starting. I was here already.
Oh, okay.
And my car got towed. My apartment got towed.
Well, there you go. Shit, you have no choice.
And I go, joke, whatever the manager, can you give me $1,500 for 4 weeks? He goes, I don't know if I can do that. Yes, you can.
You can do it.
He did it, and I went down there, and that was what's that store that they always have sales?
I know what you're talking about.
Joe something.
Yeah.
What do they call those fucking stores?
fuck.
Jesus
I
Christ, they're popular as fuck. They got 3 T-shirts for $20.
It's the men's clothing place.
No, they got everything. They got women's clothing too.
Target?
No. Well, anyway, they have this store in the heart of fucking Miami in Coconut Grove. Like, it doesn't belong there. It's 2 floors. And I would go in there and get... And here's the other thing that they had. Clothes that are heavier that we could wear out here, but you can't wear back there.
You'll melt if you wear that in Miami.
So it was amazing. I got these deals. So I went in there after I had no clothes. And
get a velour tracksuit for $20.
Yeah, $200. I got a whole fucking wardrobe.
Yeah.
They threw in the socks. Bam! I was brand new after 4 weeks in Miami, eating Cuban food, talking Spanish and shit.
But you came back though. That's the difference. So a lot of those house MCs are the lifers who they get so disillusioned and they get so bitter. And you know the guy I'm talking about. He wasn't a house MC, but it's like
this thousand. Listen, man. Let's pretend I would have came out here and the shit wouldn't have gone the way I thought.
Right.
In all those years of traveling, there's one comedy club owner that I clip with.
Always.
I can call him and go, listen, guy,
I'm in a bind.
I'm not doing too well
Yeah.
here. I know you got that extra comedy condo in the back you used to fuck the waitresses.
Right.
Let me move in there. Let me get my life together. Help
you bring
me
a
out.
waitress, I'll get out of your
I'll
way.
do a writing class with young comics.
Teach defensive driving,
Teach
something.
defensive driving and whatever. And then the weeks you don't want me, I'll pick up around Texas or I'll pick up around Arizona or Michigan or whatever. Listen, there's a couple types of comics. And after the journey I've taken, I respect every single one because you have a choice on what to do. LA ain't for everybody.
No.
New York ain't for fucking everybody.
And I will say this to go against my point. You have to. You can't get mad at the fact that those guys are still doing it. At least they didn't throw in the towel. At least they're actually still doing comedy.
I was gonna ask that. Why? I mean, it's not. I'm not saying that they should give up on if it's their dream, but if they,
dude, it's like coaching. Like I remember my algebra teacher in high school, in junior year algebra, was an old football coach, and he would just sit there and draw up plays while we were all taking a test. And I'd be like, I would ask, like, what are you doing? He goes, man, tell you something. Coaching ain't never leaving your blood. If you're a coach, you're a coach for life. Same thing with stand-up. It never leaves you. Like, there's no way any guy who's been a stand-up comic for more than a couple of years is ever not going to sit there and write jokes and want to do it. Like, it just doesn't leave you.
Let's pretend you come out here, you meet a girl, you have a child, you know. You're doing okay as a comic. You're a warm-up on a TV show.
Fucking A.
You do some spots at the Improv.
Man.
Some clubs hire you. You get a night here, a night there. You do the Spanish clubs with Willie and Felipe and shit. You make a little money. You know what, man? And one day you go, you know what? We don't want to live here no more.
Yeah.
I respect that guy, too, because he's got a fucking family.
Right.
You know, maybe he gets a great deal in Arizona. His wife gets a great job. A lot of guys I started with in Denver, they ended up having children. And what they did was they got a job, and then they did comedy. They did those rooms, but they understood where they were. They knew their place. This is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to keep my day job. My family needs insurance.
And they were happy.
But at night, my wife knows I do 3 nights a week out. I come here on Tuesdays and see the boys. I go to McKelvey's on Thursdays.
And those dudes are happy.
Yeah, man, because you know where the fuck you stand.
Right.
You know, and you know, it ain't over till they put you in the casket.
Right. Look at Ronnie Dangerfield.
It ain't over till they put you in the casket. That's the other thing that people never really. You could be fucking. Somebody was telling me what's his name story. Junior Soprano. He hadn't worked for years. Yeah. And listen, here he goes to.
He was in The Godfather too.
Yeah, and he was in The Godfather. Yeah. You know, so you never fucking know what. And you ain't over till it's over.
Joe Pesci was a failed singer. He was working. His singing career didn't take off, and he was working at a restaurant. Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
He was working at a restaurant. It's like the what do they call the guy? The maitre d', the one. Hey, come in. Yeah, in New York, and he gets a phone call. It's De Niro and Scorsese asking him to be in Raging Bull, and he thinks it's a friend pranking him. So he's like, "Fuck you," and he hangs up on him. And they call back. They're like, "This is really us. We want you to come read for this." Like, you never did I ever tell you the Bill Hicks story when he was doing Dangerfields for the first time? Do you remember, there was that girl, Sandy DePerna? Do you remember her?
I know the name.
Okay, so she used to manage him way back when, right? And this is, I always tell any young comic who's ever like, you know, when they get bummed out about having a bad set, none of that fucking matters. Because, okay, so Bill Hicks goes to New York for the first time. and she's his manager, and she knows. Remember that guy? He managed everybody from like Drew Carey to Foxworthy Musina. Remember him? Like okay,
say that, yeah.
So he at the time, I guess he knew a bunch of people in New York, and she said it was either him or his brother, right? And she goes, "Look, I want this kid Bill. You know, I think he's a really funny comic. He's amazing. I want to get him, you know, just kind of get his feet wet in New York City." He goes, "Yeah, I'll give him a night at Dangerfields. I'll call him. We'll put him up." And he goes up, Bill Hicks, and he bombs his ass off. Just fucking bombs. And he leaves the club. He goes to he goes to a payphone. And he calls Sandy at like 2 a.m. and is crying. He's like, "Look, you stuck your neck out for me, and I let you down, and I'm so sorry. I can't." And she goes, "Look, it probably wasn't as bad as you thought. Just, you know, go to your hotel room, get some sleep. I'll call the guy in the morning. You know, I'm sure it'll be fine." He goes to his hotel room, sleeps it off. She calls the dude the next morning. She goes, "Look, you know, I heard my guy had a bad set." And he goes, No, he didn't have a bad set. He had the worst set that anybody has ever had in this club. That's how bad he was. And then she starts to apologize. She's like, "Oh my God." And he goes, No. Rodney loved him. That was it. Rodney Dangerfield happened to be sitting at the back of his own fucking room, saw him, and was like, "Fuck this audience, that guy." And that was it. That he got him on his HBO special. That kickstarted his career. Granted, he wasn't as big in America as he was in England, but none of his career would have happened had it not been for the worst set of his fucking life. So it's amazing how. And I remember you told me this way back when. As long as you're still on stage, you're in the fight. As long as you still go up and perform comedy, you're still swinging. You still have gloves on, and you haven't been knocked out yet. And you're absolutely right when you told me that. And that story is like proof positive that like. If there's any comedian who's listening, I know you got a lot of comedian fans who are comedians, don't ever get discouraged by a shitty set, because you never know what the fuck could be, because we're going to have 1 million of them, and you never know what's going to happen. Like, could you imagine the worst set of your life ends up being what gives you a career? I mean, it happens, dude.
Well, because somebody sees your point of view.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all they need to see.
He had a voice. He wasn't a dumb. He didn't have any. He wasn't doing hacky shit. He had his own voice. He had his own style. And Rodney Dangerfield's like, "No, yeah, this guy's great. I don't give a shit if the crowd's not laughing. This guy's amazing. Yeah, he's doing my young comedian special."
You know, I always tell people I learn lessons from criminal lessons.
Right.
And it's very hard to explain it. Lee's catching on over the years. He giggles at night. Sometimes we stay and smoke a number. And I'll never forget Cy Lawrence. Cy Lawrence is one of my all-time favorite Jewish people. And Cy Lawrence did those scams, like any type of scam. And when he took you, when you fell or whatever you did, you got hit by the bus or whatever the fuck you did. The next day he took you to the hospital, then he took you to a fucking lawyer.
Right.
And as soon as you went to the lawyer, and the lawyer started giving you paperwork, what doctors you're going to see, neurologists, and what they basically were doing, running up bills. The more bills, the more money you get.
Okay.
And they tell you, and you're like, "So when do I get my 30,000?" Like, this is a job for the next year. We want you to. This is a job. But they said something that always stuck with me. You got to punch in every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Something fucked with me about that. They go, "The work is punching in." I don't forget how they phrased it. I'm sorry, I'm a little high. Me and Lee went deep in the murky waters.
Yeah.
But he goes, "At the end of the day, this is just about punching in."
Yeah.
He goes, "The more you punch in, the more money we're going to get. The more you punch in." And it hit me weird. And that was the first time that got me. And then the second time it got me was when I bumped into fucking Slash in the Riviera. When I got no reason to lie to nobody. I had $3 in my pocket.
Wow.
I had cigarettes and water in my room, puddle water. In those days, I couldn't even afford the thing. I couldn't even have the deposit for the fucking phone. Like Rogan would have to be embarrassed. The Riviera paid me $200 for the weekend.
Jesus.
For 2 shows at midnight. It was a fucking. Wow. And I went with Joe, and I'll never forget that I was walking around from the Oxygen. It was like some type of convention, like for comic books or T-shirts.
They try to keep your ass awake.
And Slash was there, and I asked him what happened with Axel, and he goes, "Right now you're broke and you're struggling." He goes, "But remember these times, because these are the times that are going to justify later on when you're getting big checks.
Oh, yeah.
This is so you don't lose your mind, because that's what happens when people don't put in the work.
They lose it.
They lose it later on because they know they didn't put in the work. I knew for a fact that if I punched in, which the opposite of that means getting on stage,
right,
at any level, it could be a $50 set. When I first got into comedy, everybody wants you to be this big money earner. I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as, what are you paying for this room? $50. Okay. Lee, what are you paying for your room? $65 in a dinner. Remember those days? 60 and 3 drink tickets.
Fuck you. They were the best.
75 and 3 drink tickets.
My first $50 spot, I thought it was a rock star. I'm like, oh my God,
that's it.
I got $50 cash.
And then you start making $100 a week. Now it's $400 a month. Then the next month you make an extra gig, $500 a month. Right. Now you're in the game. Okay. Because you kept your nut low.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember the first time you got back-to-back weeks, how crazy that felt? Remember that? You were just like, fucking A, like, I really, it's real, isn't it? Like,
it's about to go down.
Right? Like, this is real. Like, I'm thinking, I'm going to, man.
Call some people.
Yes. It was, dude, that was the best fucking feeling, man. That's a good point, dude. That's great. Like,
just keep punching in.
You have to. You have to.
That's it. That's the secret to all these fucking dumb things. Because when somebody tells you, I want to be a doctor, well, it's going to take you 7 years, you look at it like fucking from here to eternity.
Of course.
We all look at stuff like it's a distance. I'll never do 10 years in prison. Fucking people do it all the time. Yeah, and they come out and they join a band and they get tattoos and they're back, bitch. Next thing you know, they're on Law and Order. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here all night. The whole fucking...
I remember there was this comedian in Dallas, great guy named Dave Little, super funny dude. He's still around, he's just he did the road for forever, and he pulled me aside one day when I was a kid because one comic was bitching. It was a showcase room in Dallas, and this dude was bitching. He was a new guy, just came in, and he was mad that they weren't paying him for a spot, right? And this guy Dave pulled me aside because, you see that guy, you don't ever want to be like that. He goes, if you're doing this just to make money, leave right now. Because that's not, because you just have to want to do it. You have to want to be good at it, and then you'll get a paycheck. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. $50, $22, $25. I didn't look at it that way. I remember putting it down in notebooks. Yeah. Like when I first moved to LA, I put down every penny I made. And all those little Felipe rooms and Lazario rooms and those rooms paid so many bills. God, so many Coke bills and electric bills and grocery bills and fucking. Let me give some shout outs here real quick. Executive function, oh shit. Tal Mordehay Jr. Cosmic Timelessness. Cocaine Tamales making a comeback. The Nutman. Brett Baker. Simart Zero. And Peter Mandeep Bar. Are you kidding me or what? Lee, how you feeling over there? Is this Mafia game fucking downloaded or what?
I think it probably is, yeah.
Jesus Christ, 2 hours to download a game.
I know, it's weird.
I thought you popped in this like a CD. Pew, pew.
Remember the days it just cost a quarter. You just put it in a quarter and it was ready to go. You just pop in that token at the arcade and you're ready to go.
What do you got going on, Tarzan?
Nothing much, man. Same old shit. Working on another hour.
Agents still sending you out?
Yeah. Doing I'm in Claremont this weekend at the Flappers, and then I'm in your old stomping grounds. I'll be at Laughs in Seattle, November 4th and 5th. Headline.
Tell them you don't know me.
Yeah.
When you get to Seattle, dog, anybody asks you something like that guy from Law and Order, I swear I've been there all night. I've been one more night.
Any good Chinese food up there that might still be around?
20 years.
Yeah, fuck, that's true. Yeah.
20 fucking years.
Man.
There was 2 places that were throwing heat in Seattle, but heat in that time for me, I couldn't find an egg roll.
Oh.
But I did find soup,
dry
noodles,
and
a shrimp and lobster sauce that would kick you in the ball sack and take you right down. You understand me? 2 places I found, and both places made them with prawns.
Ooh.
One place by the old Improv.
Okay.
By the market.
Yeah.
By that fish market.
Yeah.
This is 20 years ago. Though.
Sure.
There was when you came out of the market, you cross the street and you make a right on that street down, and it was in there. It was a small joint. They had a creamy. It was different than what you get in Boston and stuff like that. Lee, that's what I've been thinking about lately. I'm gonna go on an extreme diet from now until I get to Boston. The first night, I'm gonna go get pork fried rice and shrimp and lobster sauce. They make it with that brown, fucking Boston shrimp. It's dipped in fucking dead bodies out there.
My dad used to get that. I never tried it.
I forgot to ask you, how'd the special go, man?
The special was great.
For good, man. Good.
For what I've done, for what I could do.
Yeah.
The first, I've been watching the clip. When you're there, you're under the ether.
Sure.
You have a good time. The energy was great. The second show when I came out, I appreciate all the people that went. And when I watched it, yeah, it was what I expected.
That's awesome, man.
They still got to chop it up and put the
Sure.
sound and all that stuff. It was an interesting experience.
Did you use a cue card or anything like that, or did you remember it all?
No, I didn't. You know me, dog.
Yeah,
I went out there with a plan, and then for the second show, I bombed the first show, so I had to switch it up.
Yeah,
And I fucking went in there and really gave them the energy that they, you realize that the energy is six quarters of the battle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When in the set process do you abandon the plan? Is it like, are you?
it all varies. It all just depends. I mean, like you could panic and say fuck it after the first joke and go off. I mean, it all depends, right? And you can tell what the crowd, what they're going to be into or not. Like, but yeah, I mean, like the one I did with Gabe, the special, it was one night. There wasn't even two shows. It was one show that I had to tape, and Fluff was like, and I was scared shitless, but it was in Nyack up in New York, and I remember thinking, like, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it. And right as it's, okay, all right, you're up, I hear, they're getting ready to bring me up on the stage. And it was literally, it was one fucking show. It was a 9 o'clock show. That was all that we had to tape. It was just one show. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. One take, one cut. There was no stop. We literally did the whole fucking thing in one, it was just one. They had 4 cameras, right? But it was all one thing. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I was scared shitless. And I'm walking out in to go up on stage, and I see Joe DiStefano, Mikey D's older brother, who looks just like Mike.
Just like Mike.
And when I saw him, all the fear, it was like, I thought it was like Mikey had just walked in. He hey, Jerry, gives you this big hug, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready. And it just went. It was incredible. Like knock on wood, it's going to be on a streaming service in about a month or two. So
Coming to a theater near you.
Yeah.
Lee, how you feeling, cocksucker? You ready for another star for the weekend?
Sure, let's do it.
Keep you alive and kicking this show. You're falling asleep. You're going into
No,
a
I'm
trance.
not falling asleep.
What's
What
a
are
star?
What are you gonna go home and eat?
What am I gonna go home?
What do you got over there?
I got some cold cuts, I think.
Oh,
What kind of cold cuts you got? Surprise me. Yeah.
Turkey and pepperoni.
Oh. Where do you get them from?
Joey turned me on to a new Ralph's.
Oh, which
How
one?
was it? You like it?
It was great. Yeah. Oh my god.
How's
Which
the
one?
parking over there, cuz?
It looked like it could be kind of tight, but when we went, it was fine.
What time did you go?
I think we went like middle of the afternoon.
You talking cold water Witsit?
No,
I like cold water Witsit.
Yeah.
I'm a cold water Witsit
I like
type
that
of
Ralph's,
guy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know who's actually got not bad cuts is that John's that's right there by us.
Oh, I
The
hate that
at-
one.
The Magnolia and Laurel Canyon. Dude, the cold cuts aren't bad. They're not bad, man.
They got Dumans?
I don't know if they have that. I don't know.
What do you get? What do you get?
I got it there once, and maybe I got the wrong one, but I didn't like it.
What did you get at Rouse? You get Dumans?
I get Borset.
Boys said Dumans.
Borset, they got Borset. The one they had there that it was fucking unreal was this garlic and herb peppered turkey. Fuck, man, that was a shit.
I like my turkey plain. All right,
Yeah. No, I put all that shit on it. I put all that
salt
shit
and
on
pepper,
it.
little mayonnaise, shredded lettuce. I'm back, bitch. On a seeded roll, I'm back with a yoo-hoo.
Dude, you know
with a
who's got...
slice of fucking Swiss cheese.
Have you been to Roma's Italian Deli that's right up Lancashire? Roma's?
Oh, Chimera, I've been going there since the inception.
Dude, that fucking... I went to the...
Please.
You know it's good when the owner has 3 pictures of him and Sinatra hanging out.
Oh, please.
Like, that's like, okay, this is the place. Yeah, that's fucking good, man.
It takes balls to go up there. That's a fucked up part of town.
Oh, God. I go there all the time.
I just went after about a year. When I first moved up here, and I discovered... Somebody turned me on to it, and I started going in. They got a tremendous lunch special.
Oh, those Italian sandwiches
It's
are
like the
so
$5.65 for a
It's
soda,
cheap
a
as shit.
sandwich, and
A
two
salad,
sides.
2 sides?
And you get fucking the roasted peppers.
Yes.
And the macaroni salad. It's like I'm in Hashways.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in Hashways, Jersey. All I need is Mr. Hashway dripping hair into the fucking sandwich. God rest his soul.
It's so good, that place, man. Fuck, it's good. It's cheap as shit, too. You're right. $6, you get a fucking meal. Man, that place is good. Roma's is good. But you're right. It is sketchy shit going on.
It's sketchy over there. They got that place next door. They sell explosives.
Yeah.
And shit.
they got the
Yeah.
Mexican quinceañera
I
hall
went
right
in
there.
there one day. They got everything.
Yeah.
Lighters, t-shirts. You're like, what the fuck is this place?
How are they
Blow
open?
torches if you're a crackhead. They got everything in there.
How are they
Go
open?
in there. You know what place I'm talking
Yes.
about? Right next to it.
Yeah.
They got this place. It's like a building. And they
I'll
got
go.
everything. Got car stereo, speakers, a fucking fire suit. They got everything.
I'm telling you.
Speak a fucking earplug. I mean,
I guarantee you they own a storage unit somewhere, and they're
everything's
taking
brand new.
shit that people.
They're selling hot shit. That's a sketchy part of town.
It is.
Once
man.
you cross over that shit, that's a spook. I don't even like that Target up there. I tell my wife, please.
Which
stay
Target is that one?
There's a Target up
The
there.
Victory one?
Yeah.
That
place,
man.
you know there's going to be a shootout there.
Yeah, dude.
You can smell the gunpowder.
Yeah.
That's the Target I go to. What's wrong
I
with
know.
that Target?
Oh, please. Any day now, they're going to
Yeah, no, it's like,
be a
you
plane,
just feel it.
and they're going to drop pamphlets out with a picture of Kennedy on it and shit. I hate when my wife takes my baby to that Target. You want to get shot on your own time.
Yeah. That is the one Target
I don't
where
know.
I've lived 2 times I've gone to that Target. There's been a kid covered in its own shit crying because it didn't have a parent and they had to fight and like nobody cared. And I remember having to call like, can somebody please? And they found the mom. She was like halfway across the other end of the store. Like that shit happens all the time at that Target.
Is
dude.
spooky.
That's ooh. That's the type of Target where I guarantee you the manager could sell you half the shit there for half off out back, right? If you tell him he'll come back with cash right after they close, he'll meet you outside and be like, "Hey, you want these?"
They got a Starbucks in there now,
Yeah,
which really
yeah.
scares the
They got a
shit out of me.
Starbucks and a Witch Witch.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And a what?
A Witch
Witch-
Witch.
How many Witch Witches have you had lately?
Just one.
Jeez, what flavor?
Turkey.
Unbelievable.
Is that place good? I never been
No.
there.
It's not.
It's
Why would it
garbage.
be good if he
I
went
tried it.
there?
I just wanted to try
Yeah,
it.
it was good. Try it. Why would you want to try it? Like, I got a piece of dog shit. I'm gonna cover it with chocolate. You want to try that? I still got
$8.99
it.
with a drink.
I still got it. You know, on Wednesday night, cocksuckers. Even after driving on set. Let me tell you
That was
something.
my route. That Olympic route.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. I never want you to think I'm whining to you. I got stuck in fucking brutal Los Angeles traffic. You guys know me. Against my best fucking wishes, okay? Yeah. But sometimes you got to go talk to some people.
You got to do it,
They want
dude.
to talk to you, and they're always in Santa Monica. And they always want to talk to you at the end of that day. The fucking drive down there was paradise. It was the first time I didn't get in the HOV lane. I just drove like regular Americans waving at people. I didn't have a car for 60 yards in front of me.
Whoa.
I was crossing lanes.
Shit.
It was completely fucking empty. I mean, I was like, what is going on with the 405?
That never happened.
The other side going north, bumper
Dead.
to bumper.
Dead.
Dead.
Already, yeah.
People waving like they got stuck in Katrina. They're waving with their hands. South by man. Fucking, I'm going south and I'm doing 85. I got there at I left my house at 10 to 3, and I got to Santa Monica at 3:19 to the location.
Holy shit.
That's how fast, and I had to exit on the 10. There was nobody. No, there was a kid on a bicycle. On the foot. Nobody even said nothing to him. I shot straight in like nothing. When I got out of there, I hadn't seen nothing like that in a long time. Now, the last time I saw something like that, I got in that left-hand lane.
Yeah.
And I rode it for about a mile till I went around it. It doesn't die till you go around the 405.
Yeah.
On Olympic.
Yep.
And it took me from 2700 Santa Monica there to fucking the 405.
And it was easy getting back, too?
It took me an hour. The 405 was men's and men's, but the fucking, once you got on it, I mean, you just, and you can get aggravated.
Yeah.
All I do is when I'm driving, I go, thank God I don't have to do this 5 days a week.
Right, exactly. Oh, could you imagine?
That
if you
would
had
kill you, America.
Some 9 to 5 shit.
It would fucking kill you.
That's
if
what
you
I did.
listen to
That's what I
this
did
shit.
for 3 years.
It is a fucking nightmare. It really, it tests your fucking soul. There's always an accident, and it's just weird. It's just weird to even describe. So
And it's,
thank God I had to do it. I haven't done it in a long time. I was kind of upset last night. I got away with the Obama thing Tuesday. I had plans to go to Marina Del Rey.
Oh.
Obama was going to be down there.
Right.
And then the guy took the gun out down on Temple Street.
Right.
He shut traffic down for 3 hours. People don't know what we fucking... Every day there's fucking drama. And if you get involved in making all these moves that you don't need to make, you will get caught in a fucking whirlwind of fucking traffic. And it always happens when you're on E and you got to pee. On E and you gotta pee, all right? That's the next thing you do, fucking album. On E and I gotta pee, all right? Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? I still spit them out. It's Wednesday night. I must have had some CBD juice or something today.
Oh, shit. That's great.
That's right, Jerry
That's
LaRocca.
great.
What are you doing this weekend, Lisa? Nothing?
what am I? I'm going to a benefit for the pug rescue. This
Aw. Very
All
nice.
right, just sit.
Good
Why don't
for
you just
you,
put
man.
your head right in the fucking computer?
Nah, good
Unbelievable.
for you.
Unbelievable.
Good
When
for
I
you.
leave town.
It's called the Pugtacular Spooktacular.
That's great. That's good. Fucking A, man.
Oh, you
Good
see
for
what
you.
happens when I leave town.
Yeah.
Look
Nah,
at
you're
me,
doing a good
giggles.
thing.
He giggles like a half a fruitcake.
He's
over
doing
there.
a service, man. He's doing a service. Good for him.
So no, we were just rapping earlier, and it's just scary. I think about it. I think about it now, and I think about my daughter, and I think about like nieces and friends' kids, and I think about me getting in a car when I'm 19 years old, with maybe $1,600 in my pocket, and maybe some weed, and going cross country with a barbell and 2 speakers, landing in Bissell for 3 months, not really having a job for 2 of those months. And I picked up little gigs, and I could fucking float around. And then I moved to Snowmass Village, and that's what I was telling you about when we robbed the fucking. That was just craziness.
God.
That's
amazing.
But guess what? At that time, I was heartbroken.
Sure.
I left New Jersey. My mom had died. I was in love when I left. Somebody else was giving her a stabbing. My dreams were
The
done.
worst feelings, dude.
But when I went over there, you know what? I got into like a vocational. No, I got into Colorado Mountain College. At first, I was going to go to vocational school, and I checked out the plumbing course, and I was like, this ain't for me. I got to do something a little bit more fucking free.
Right.
And I got into the electrical business, and I was an electrician when I was up there. Being young is fucking great, but you got to do shit sometimes.
Of course.
Even if you go away for 1 year,
Yeah.
and just to give it a shot, and go, you know
gotta
what,
do
I'm
it.
going to go somewhere for 1 year.
Take your
It
journey,
may not be
man.
Los Angeles or Hawaii, but I would go like Houston, Texas for a year, or New Orleans. I can't send nobody
man.
down. I can't be responsible for New Orleans.
That'll fuck you up if you're there for a weekend, man.
Really?
Shit.
What? New Orleans is too crazy?
It's a little bit crazy, New Orleans, man.
I think it's more of a sin city than Vegas, right? Like it's more.
It's a
of
different type of fucking sin. In Vegas,
Yeah.
I got a camera everywhere.
Right.
If I stab you in Vegas, I'm in jail in 24 fucking
Oh,
hours.
no question.
24 and a half hours, I'm in jail.
New Orleans, they might never find you.
They'll never find you.
Yeah.
They throw you in one of those levees. They'll bury you under one of those sausage houses.
Yeah.
People drink on top of you for a year before somebody smells you. It's fucking, and that's the I don't know. And I'm not putting down New Orleans by now. I just
No, I know
heard
what you mean.
a lot of things. When I was down there, I didn't dabble when I was down there.
Right.
I kept close to the set. I took cars whenever they said, everybody ride to the hotel?
Right.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to walk, I'll join a country club. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fucking walk nowhere. I got to walk around like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. What are you looking at me on weed for?
I'm not looking at you weird. Oh, I'm excited. You were talking about like places you go. There was this sandwich place I used to live above. So I'm gonna just go there. I'm excited to go to Boston.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun for
A
the world.
sandwich place.
Yeah.
Every time
Well,
you
you-
talk about food in Boston,
Well, you're gonna go to Chinese
you
food.
depress me. Well, what sandwich? You get a sandwich here.
Yeah, but
Go to Delmonico's, get a turkey. Because that's if you're gonna get a sandwich. Like if you said you were going back to get a sausage sandwich.
well, I'm gonna get a pizza. Yeah.
with sausages dripping down your face. But I know you. Can I get a turkey with mustard and cheddar cheese with double tomato? And
Same thing you get at a Subway.
yeah, and I'm gonna kick you in the fucking leg because I can't deal with that shit in public. Once he says turkey with cheddar,
I don't get turkey with cheddar.
I know you do, and I kick you right in the stomach.
Party's over.
Party's over. That's it.
What's this guy doing? Turkey.
People at home are thinking, what the fuck's going on tonight? Listen, what the fuck you think's going on? It's a Wednesday night. I got comedy this weekend in Las Vegas at the South Point Casino.
Nice.
That's why my main man Lee is not allowed this weekend. That's why he's going to the Bug Festival. If not, he'd be in fucking Vegas with me, eating stars and losing $20 in the slot machines and tapping out.
Nice.
Every time I go to Vegas with Lee, I go to my room. The next morning I wake up to a story. What happened? I'm tired. What do you mean you're tired?
Oh, fuck.
We went to upstairs at 10 o'clock. Yeah, but then at 2 I came down. And I was up 800. But then I went to my room. And I couldn't sleep. And I came down and I lost 600.
No.
And I went, and there's a story. And then I had some eggs. And I don't feel good. How much were the eggs, Lee? 25 cents. Don't you think you felt good, Lee?
I don't buy 25-cent eggs.
Yes, you did. Don't
That story is true.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Is there a fight there this weekend? Anything good?
No.
Nice.
You know, when I go to Vegas, man, I mind, like I just said to you, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So guess what Uncle Joey does? I mind my fucking
Go
business.
do your show. Go to the room.
That's it.
Yeah.
I go to the clam bar.
That's
I
how I don't really do the Vegas shit. I just go.
I'm away
perform,
from this
yeah.
trip. I'm too fucking old. I love to join you.
Right.
You know, I got friends from grammar school that live there. That he's like family.
Right.
So he takes me to lunch. We go to breakfast. So that's 2 meals. The kids come. That's now he's too old to come. He's my age.
Yeah.
So his kids come to the comedy shows. And then we go up to the room and hang out. I gave him UFC tickets.
Nice.
He's like my nephew. He really fucking is.
That's
I've
great,
known him
man.
since he was a fucking kid.
That's
so.
great.
Why are you staring me down,
I'm
cocksucker?
not staring you down.
I'm not staring you down.
I'm making eye contact.
You what?
I'm just looking at you.
You having an attack?
No, I'm good.
I'll let you get out of here. I'm reading some sponsors. You're going to give me some sheets?
Yes,
I got to
sir.
stab you in the lung, cocksucker. Thank you, my friend.
There you go, yeah, man.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Look at you, Mafia 3, dude. That's badass.
We don't fuck around here.
Was it fun doing that?
Oh,
Was it easy, in and out kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. It was
Yeah,
real.
that's
I'll
great,
tell you
man.
after this.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we got to ask me questions before I got to talk about this. Lee Syatt has lost a few pounds on it. I know he... I mean, listen, let's face it. Lee Syatt is basically food poisoning. Lee Syatt's a Billy Goat. I love him like a brother, but he's Billy Goat. I like him like a brother and a nephew. Lee Syatt's worse than Mikey. He won't eat it once. He'll try it twice. You know what I'm saying? Even though the first time got him a little sick, if he could save $1 or they have something special in there, Lee will keep going back. But Lee did and looks really good since he's been on Blue Apron. He's happy. Him and his girlfriend do it together. They have a great time. I call him. He tells me what he's eating. I mean, he was really happy with it. I know you put it down when we were traveling.
And I'm picking it up next week.
You're picking it up next week for a reason. For less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. Blue Apron knows that when you cook with incredible ingredients, you make incredible meals, so they set the highest quality standards for their community. Family-run farms, fisheries, ranches, whether it's the Japanese ramen noodles, the wild-caught Alaskan salmon, or the heirloom tomatoes. Blue Apron is bringing you the best. They're not messing around no more. The recipes are created weekly and not repeated within a year. That means you'll never get bored. Your meals have a variety of recipes, or let Blue Apron's culinary team just surprise you. You're sitting there, you're like, I'm having a shitty day. Boom, a box comes to your door. You open it up, guess who it is? Blue Apron. And with a salmon, a dessert, a salad. That's what I'm talking about. And you cook it in less than 30 minutes, all right? Every meal comes with a step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card and pre-portioned ingredients and can be prepared, I was wrong, in 40 minutes or less, all right? Who's better than you? This is what you're going to do. Check out this week's menu. Spicy beef skewers, cod sandwiches with caper alioli, Sicilian-style rigatoni pasta, seared pork chops, and pastrami spiced salmon. Are you kidding me or what? Now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get you your first 3 meals for free. That's right, free. That's right, free. With free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Joey. Again, I'm giving you 3 meals for free and free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Joey. You'll love how good it feels and tastes, and to create home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. Plus, you learn how to cook. You save the recipe cards. Okay? Who's better than you? You want to impress girls, guys? You want to impress guys? It's the holiday season. You want to live there like a schlub. That's right. 3 free meals and free shipping. blueapron.com/Joey. Again, Blue Apron, a better way to cook, all right? Who's better than you, all right? Let me drop some real knowledge on you people.
There we go. Hell yeah.
And I've been trying to tell you people for a long time. Uncle Joey's trying to help you out in more ways than one. You want to have friends. You want to learn how to mingle. Do I got something for you for the holidays? HelloTushy.com.
Amen.
You're looking at me going, Joey, what are you talking about? Bidets are back, bitch. You're sitting there going, Joey, what's a bidet? A bidet is this little thing that when I first bumped into a bidet, it was next to my mom's toilet. It had a hot water thing and a cold water thing. And you sat there after you took a dump or you took a little leak. Or sometimes I just sat on the bidet. You have nothing to do, you just sit on the bidet. It's cold water hitting your little muffler, all right? And guess what? For a while there, they disappeared, but people started walking around. They got hemorrhoids. People got problems. So bidets are back. They're devices that spray your little butt clean with water. Like I said, I grew up with a bidet in my house. They are tremendous. Now, thanks to Tushy, sleek bidets that clip on to your existing toilets, and they spray your butt completely clean with fresh water to get your muffler sparkless. So you're not sitting there with bacteria in your muffler, which causes hemorrhoids and yeast infections and just rotten ass all in general, okay? Bidets are also better for the environment because no paper, more trees. I remember one time I took mushrooms and I had diarrhea, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, how many trees they had to cut for all this toilet paper I'm using? I don't need that aggravation in my life. That wouldn't have happened that time. Can you imagine eating mushrooms and sitting on your bidet? Never mind, you get the fucking hot water one. That's when you're really hopping up and down. Now, I told you, bidets are better for the environment, and they use 1 pint of water, all right? Now, Tushy stands behind their product for 60 guaranteed days, all right? So I don't know if it's 60 or 30. I forget. Let's go with 30, all right? So, who's better than you? Listen, you want to surprise somebody for the holidays? I've already had 2 people show up at shows with the boxes, and they love this thing.
Nice.
I installed one in my back bathroom. I've used this twice. It is tremendous. Wait till that cold water hits your scrotum. Unbelievable. Your head blows up, especially in the morning. You don't know where you're at. You got amnesia, you know what I'm saying? While you're drinking coffee, let that cold water, it's like somebody spitting in your muffler. Tremendous. You know what I'm saying? Drop it, Syatt. What do you think of it?
Oh my God, it's because when we spoke last, I had just installed it, and this is now I don't know how many weeks later, but it's changed my life.
Where were you without it?
If Jerry sniffs your muffler right now, what will he smell
Daisy.
Jerry, you can lick my muffler almost
clean.
worry-free. Almost.
Oh, nice.
It's been a few hours since I've been home, so I don't want to...
Yeah. Anyway, you've been washing for 30 days. So
Anyways.
you
It's like
have
I'm
no hemorrhoids.
licking.
You're nice and clean. Everybody's happy.
And
your wife likes it, right? Everybody uses it.
She had never even tried one before, and she said it was a game changer.
That's amazing.
I was thinking about it today. You asked me a question, what level do I put it at? And I looked down. There's not really levels. There's no numbers. But I just put it almost all the way to 10. It's
Wow.
you just...
Well, you're a big guy. You got a lot of tacos and
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of stuff.
mayonnaise and lettuce and stuff.
I know, but then you
goat
just...
cheese and all that El Rancho tacos you ate the other day at the mother-in-law's house. What do you think is mixing all that yum food, huh?
Hey.
Anyway, if you want to have a nice gift for somebody for the holidays, a nice little stocking stuffer, this is the perfect gift, right? What we're going to do for you as listeners, because we want you to have a clean mufflers, go to hellotushy.com/church. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 10% off for the holidays. Again, This is the perfect gift for the holidays, all right? hellotushy.com/church. You're going to love this, okay? hellotushy.com. Keep your muffler clean, especially for the holidays. Why go on Match.com if you got a bidet, all right? You know why? You're going to start with go to hellotushy.com/church. 10% off. That's what we're offering you, all right now. Also, I want to introduce somebody to the church that I bumped into in the weirdest way. I was talking to somebody one day about dieting and about that, how I was going to jiu-jitsu and how I liked not really eating before my meals. Yeah. Now, I've always been very loyal on it with the shake in the morning. But in life, you get used to something, and sometimes you eat something at 7. That's what's wrong with diets. That at first you have that egg with the one slice of egg McMuffin, like you have like what do you call it, an English muffin?
Yeah, absolutely.
And with a piece of cheese and with a piece of bacon, and you have your little water. That works for about 4 months, and you do lose weight. But then you go right through that. Oh, yeah. So you have to switch it up from time to time. So a friend of mine recommended this vanilla coconut meal replacement, okay, by Primal. Let me tell you something. This stuff kept me full. You know I'm a fat fuck. I smoke marijuana, right? I would have one of these at 8 in the morning, and I would not eat till I got back from jiu-jitsu.
Damn.
At 2:15.
And you felt great the whole time.
Tremendous. No dizziness, no nothing.
Jesus. No weak.
Okay,
Didn't feel
nothing.
weak. Damn.
Some water, 3-4 ice cubes, 2 scoops. you're off and fucking running.
And you were satisfied too. You didn't get hungry, none of that shit.
Nothing.
That's great. That's great, man. Shit.
Primal Fuel is one of the cleanest ways to build muscle, burn fat, and starve off hunger. Why? Because what it contains is pretty unparalleled. In every serving, you get 20 grams of whey protein isolate, one of the highest bioavailable proteins, which means your body can use it better than any proteins when building muscle. 9 grams of highest quality coconut fat, and the super fat that curbs hunger and packs a wallop of health-promoting benefits. Primal Fuel has no added sugar, artificial sweeteners, or unwanted extra. All right? They also have the 21-day total body transformation, which I'm going to try along with Syatt. I'm going to tell you something. I've tried their products. I've tried their almond coconut bar, and I tell you what, they have some great tasting stuff. Do me a favor. Go to primalblueprint.com/Joey for more info. If you like something, use coupon code Joey Diaz at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Again, go to primalblueprint.com/Joey.
I think it's /Joey Diaz.
/Joey Diaz for more info, and use coupon code Joey Diaz in parentheses at checkout for 10% off your entire order. I'm going to tell you something. You know me, dog. I don't bullshit you motherfuckers. The holidays are coming. You're going to be out there eating cookies and fucking whatnot, okay? Yeah. This is the best time to watch what the fuck you
No
eat.
question.
This is the time of the year when I really fucking watch it because I know you can gain 15 pounds. This is the way to do it. A nice little whey fucking protein shake in the morning.
That's great.
With a fucking banana, whatever the fuck you're doing. But this is the way to do it. The Primal vanilla, and they also have a chocolate coconut, which will knock your socks off too. I've mixed and matched from time to time. You know me. I don't like doing the same fucking shit every day. So do me a favor. Give it a shot. Like I said, I'm going to start the 21-day total body transformation with Lee. And then we're going to change this shit. That's it. Lee and I are really going to go for it. It looks interesting. It is interesting. It teach you how to burn fat for fuel and prevent weight loss, proper fitness techniques that save time and starve off injury and burnout, and lifestyle changes that reduce stress, strengthen immunity, and increase energy. We all need that shit, especially during the holidays, one of the most stressful times of the fucking year. It all starts here. primalblueprint.com/Joey Diaz. For more info on all this, use coupon code Joey Diaz in parentheses at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Who's fucking better than you motherfuckers?
Nice.
Jerry LaRocca, what do you got going on? You going here? You going to Pompano?
Yeah.
Lee's going to the fucking whatever convention.
I'll be at Flappers in Claremont this weekend, and then Laughs in Seattle November 4th and 5th. And if anybody gives a shit, I got a brand new CD out called Pickle Dick on iTunes and Amazon. You can pick up Jerry Rocha Pickle Dick. It's $7.99, and my podcast, The Ramble. And I also have a podcast where I talk action figures and video games called The Power Pals with some of my buddies. So, yeah, check all that shit out, man. Thank you for having me, dude.
Oh, bro, I miss you. I know
Dude.
you're the fucking king of the fucking...
I miss you too, man.
I got a chance to do one of these games.
Yes.
And I had never done it before.
Yeah.
And they sent me 2 of them in the mail.
This is great.
And I've never played a game before. So I said...
Did you play arcades back in the day? Did you ever fuck with that stuff? Like Pac-Man or that? Did you ever do any of that stuff? Because those were kind of hot back then, right? Like...
I like... pew, pew, the shit.
Galaga.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay, Galaga's my motherfucking
That's
world.
a bad one.
I love Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man is
Oh,
my fucking... Miss Pac-Man is my world. I'll get stoned and go to a dry cleaner on purpose. Right. All these little Mexican dry cleaners around here, they all got Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, dude.
They got one of those games like 4 games in one.
Yeah, those are great.
And you can pick it. I will sit there throughout the whole dry 40-minute fucking run with a roll of $10 quarters. I will go purposely and smoke weed in the car and come back there with a fucking soda, and I will sit there and play Galaga.
Yeah.
And then I'll play Miss Pac-Man until my fucking ADD or whatever the fuck I got kicks in. I get flashbacks and beat and shit. And I get the fuck out of there. That's how. So
that's great.
I never really... I don't know how this works. I used to go to drug dealers' homes that played these games.
Yeah, sure, man.
And I would sit there while they weighed their coke, and I didn't know when they would argue and yell at each other, and they would play Madden 400.
Of course, that is. Yeah, man.
And I never really got it. I always knew that I didn't need these in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
These things will fucking addict you.
Oh, man.
But I'm 53. I never really played one. And
well, I mean, this is like the best. I'm not lying. This is probably the best time to get in it because obviously now the systems are just so much more powerful. And this is, I'm telling you, and everything I've heard about this game is these are like, it's like the whole thing will probably maybe last like 15, 20 hours to play it. I haven't played, but that's usually what they are. And it's like you're watching a great TV show. It's like it's an interactive episode of Law and Order where, it's great. A lot of them,
How long have you been playing these?
I've been playing them since I was out of the fucking womb. When I was 4 years old, my mom got me a ColecoVision. And that's how her and I bonded. It was just my mom and I, because she hadn't met she had just met my dad, her boyfriend, who ended up being my dad. So there's two of us, and we would just play video games. All like when I would come home to do homework, and then I'd play video games with my mom. And then the game changer of them all was because the Atari came out, right? The Atari 2600, and then it just got shitty. All of a sudden, it was just shitty video game after shitty video game, and then they made a video game for the movie E.T. that was historically the worst video game ever made. Like, it barely turned on when you put it in. They just had to rush it out because the movie was so popular, and it literally killed the video game industry. For about 2 or 3 years, it killed it. It was just dead. They even have a famous landfill where they buried like 2 million copies of that ET game somewhere in the fucking desert in Nevada, and they actually did a documentary where they dug them all back up, and sure enough, everything was an urban legend, but they were all fucking in there. And then Nintendo just changed the game with Super Mario Brothers, and they had their system, and it brought everybody back. And
you know about this, Lee? Also,
I'm not a good gamer. I get bored after 2 weeks because I'm not as good.
Right.
If it takes a good gamer 20 hours, it takes me like 100 hours.
Sure.
So I get angry. But when you said you play with your mom, I used to play Mario.
Yeah.
On what is it, on the first Game Boy?
Oh yeah, the first Game Boy was, of course. And then so what it did was it brought the arcade into your living room, right?
Yeah, my mom used to set the timer on the stove.
Yeah.
So me and my brother could
take turns. Yes. Yeah. And we would And it was just Joe. It just never went away, dude. It was the same thing as listening to Pink Floyd for the first time. You know how when you listen to Pink Floyd for the first time, you're like, holy shit, I'm in for life. I'm gonna go wherever these guys take me. That's what happened with video games. It was at Super Mario Brothers when that shit dropped in '85. I was like, forget it. I'll wherever these guys want to take me.
You still play these
every day. Every day. I got my girlfriend playing. She was never into this shit. Now she loves it. Like there's some tremendous video games out there. There are video games where, as far as story and even the acting, rivals films. I mean, there's some great stories being told in that medium. It's great shit, man. It's good. They're fun, man.
I was never, not it. Listen, man, there's some things that you learn that you look at and you go, you know what? That looks like fun in my world. Listen, everybody knows. And for years, people have been thinking I'm a gamer.
Sure.
Because I like smoking reefer and kicking back.
Sure.
And shit. But I thought that would just shock me to death. That's anxiety. I see how much people argue, and where I would go to get drugs for a long time. It was just
gamers get into it, yelling at each other on the headset. Fuck you, but you're fucking
crazy.
Cheat, you fucking piece of shit.
I'm like, you know what? This is the last shit I need raising my fucking blood pressure.
Yeah. I'm telling you what.
Always avoided it.
Stay away. If that's, I'm telling you right now, stay away from games like Call of Duty and John Madden, because those are the ones that bring out the crazy in you. Okay, do shit like this where you don't.
That's
even
the one the CIA sends out. To fuck you up.
A game like Mafia 3, you don't even have to play with anybody. It's like it's like escapism. You just fucking put this on. You can even put on some headphones, man, and you just enter this world. You don't talk to anybody. You're just sitting there. It's great. Now, like I'm telling you, dude, it's a lot. They get better and better. Can I plug something real quick? A buddy of mine named Tom Bissell is a fantastic. This guy covered the Iraqi War, all that shit for like the New Yorker, Harper's. He's a legit writer, and he wrote an amazing book called Extra Lives: Why Video Games Matter. And he talks about how video games just been a constant throughout his life. And he talks about like how he played Grand Theft Auto, and it gave him a real life coke addiction playing the game. It's a fascinating book. It's called Extra Lives: Why Video Games Matter by Tom Bissell. It's fat. The dude, he's amazing.
I don't know if
games.
I could sit there at night playing video games and one night just go,
Right? Let me try this. I'm
in the mood to do a line of fucking.
Right?
I would have a living heart attack
Right.
If I did a line of coke and played
a game
and had a focus on the game, that is a fucked up
Tom's
addiction.
a bad
I never
motherfucker.
thought of that shit.
Yeah, he's a bad. That book's a bad. Tom's a bad
my
motherfucker,
God, I
and
never thought of that.
he writes them now for a living. And I'll tell you this story real quick. He was you'll love this. You'll love this. He was at Comic-Con talking about a game once, right? And I don't even know if I can tell this story, but I'll change everything. So he had written a game in a series, a popular series of video games, and this game took place before the main series, and there was a weapon in the game. Right, and that was common throughout the series. And he's taking questions at Comic-Con, and this nerd goes, "Pardon me, but that is completely impossible for that photon laser to have been in that game because if this game takes place 55 years before the events of the first game, that photon laser wouldn't have been invented." Like, he gets angry, and then Tom just went into the microphone and he goes, "You know, none of this shit is real, right?" He thought it would kill. He thought he was going to do. They bombed. They were mad. They were like, "Fuck you, it's not real."
They were blowing him.
Yeah, they were like, he thought he was going to, he thought, "Oh, this will be a funny line. This will kill the room." And they were just like, "Fuck this guy. This is real. That photon laser should not be in that video game." Like, oh, man.
You can't fuck with nerds, guys.
Dude, nerds
Can't do
it. You know, it's amazing. You talk about cocaine. Have you ever read Stephen King?
Yeah.
Misery. Did you ever read Misery?
I read like 6 or 7 of his books when I was locked up.
Yeah?
That's when I got hooked on Stephen King.
Do you know Misery? He said it just recently. He said Misery's cocaine.
Oh, please.
He goes, the book Misery, the Kathy Bates character, that's coke. That's coke. It's your biggest fan. It's your best friend. But the minute you try to turn your back on it, it fucking kills you. Like, it was amazing. Like, he said, that book is 100% about cocaine. But I always think of it too as Kathy Bates and Misery are like all these nerds now who just bitch about every little thing. That Doctor Strange would never, like all this shit. I love it. I just want to see him. I just want to go see the movie.
I wish I knew about it, so I could go down there and argue with him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. He doesn't want to break. But how funny is that? He just goes to the mic and he goes, "You guys know none of this shit is real."
I would love to know about a game and just get them
Break
riled
balls.
up. Like, just tell them that fucking Nintendo Brothers is better. Fuck you, punk cocksuckers. And they'll just sit there. How can you say that, you fat
We
man?
can get you a headset for the PlayStation, and you could just start trolling.
Just
people
start
in
trolling
the game.
people, man. There's a guy who does that. I forgot his name, but he goes on.
So wait a second. What do you do?
This dude, he'll play Call of Duty. I forgot. If you're listening, I'm sorry for not giving you credit. I forgot your name, but he'll go on Call of Duty. You have voice chats, like all 18 people in the game, you can all talk
So
to
you
each other.
join a game with other people
Oh,
playing?
yeah, playing. You play against
And you
each
don't know
other.
who these people are?
No, you just start
You
playing.
play against strangers?
It's like the arcade. Remember, you play like someone would walk up next to you. And
No,
you
no.
Yeah, that's how it was.
I don't want to play with you. You don't want to play with me.
This
is my fucking game.
This dude fucks with people. He'll be like, "Hey, what y'all doing? What y'all playing? Oh, y'all playing that game? Okay, you know what I can play again? I'm gonna suck that dick too." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna suck your dick." And they're like, "Fuck you! You're not gonna suck my dick." And he puts it on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious. This guy, it's the funniest thing. All these fucking nerds are starting yelling at him. Like, fucking, some of them get it. They start laughing. But other ones are like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "I'm going to go, yeah, no, let's go over here. No, this is where the flag's over here. Okay, get that flag. And I'm going to suck that dick."
Oh, my God.
What?
I wish they get so fired up.
Oh,
Nerds.
bro.
It's nice to see the industry that Comic-Con has become. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Unbelievable, man.
I've had people call me with the dumbest ideas that I would never in my life sit in a booth with a jersey on and talk about the longest shirt. I would be so fucking embarrassed.
Right. That's you know what's cool about Comic-Con, if you're in a movie now, right? And you get to go up like a rock star, talk about the new movie, but then you see the people who, like, the guy was in one episode of Buck Rogers back in 1979, you know what I mean? And he's sitting there in the costume signing autographs. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind going to a Comic-Con from 1960 to 1975.
When it was low key.
The TV when I came from Cuba. Yeah. Maybe the guy that was on the Green Hornet.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the guy from Room 222. Maybe the guy from, the Waltons. Maybe
badass, dude.
One of the guys from the Rifleman. Maybe
Dude, that would have been badass. You got to meet Chuck Connors back then. How sick would that be?
You know, maybe somebody from the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
And they sit in the booth and take pictures, and you can ask them questions. I think it's when they mix too much stuff. I don't care how many days it is.
Yeah.
They just overwhelm me.
It's very well.
I would have an anxiety attack.
You know me. I love going, and it gets. Here's how, and this is a true story. Here's how packed Comic-Con gets. There was, and how just.
Now, have you been to the other ones across the country, or just
mainly San Diego? Because that's the bit. I mean, but when I was there one year, and I was able to get into Hall H, and Hall H is where they screen all the movies, right? Where they show the previews for Avengers before anybody sees it, that kind of shit. And they have all the Avengers come out, all the X-Men come out up on stage, and so I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the X-Men come on the stage,
I lose my fucking mind. I lose my mind.
Do you really?
Oh God, yeah.
How old are we now?
I'm in my late 30s, and I was like, jumping up and down like an idiot. I loved it.
Like the Beatles when they
Fuck yeah, it might as well have been Shea Stadium. Absolutely. It was might as well have been the Cowboys winning a Super Bowl. I was going.
I got to deal with, ladies and gentlemen, one guy, I don't know, the other guy went to college for 4 years. He wants to go see Pugs this weekend. 4 years of college. He wants to go see Pugs.
I didn't go to college, and I want to go see Robert Downey Jr. dressed up like Iron Man. But so we go in, and I see this guy. And, you know, the people that go in the costumes, right? They do the cosplay where they'll dress up like Spider-Man, all this shit. This guy was a dead-on Hugh Jackman from Wolverine. He had it was insane. He had the makeup, the hair, everything. And he was cut. He was he just looked just like him. And I was like, holy shit. I wanted to go tell him, like, dude, that's an amazing costume. And then I go into that hall. Hugh Jackman comes out, and he goes, yeah, I kind of had a laugh. I went around a couple hours earlier today, dressed up as Wolverine. Nobody said anything. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, he goes, one person was like, you look a little short. That's all they said. That was it. That was him. He was just walking around, and he went in. Nobody even bugged him. Like Hugh Jackman dressed as everybody's favorite character, walking around, and that's how crazy it is. You don't even have time to really go, is that guy standing next to me really Hugh Jackman? He's like, hey, fuck it, let's just, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, I love that shit, dude. It's fun, man. I love it.
There's vampires down there.
Oh, there's everything. Then they have all the strippers dressed up like Jessica Rabbit, handing out the 2-for-1 passes for the strip clubs and all that stuff. Yeah, they do. They have all them out. They have all those people. Then you have like the Jesus people who are like, repent now. You're going to hell. You're worshiping false idols. All that kind of stuff. They have the protesters. It gets crazy.
Joy would be on their side.
It's crazy now. It's
Why
crazy.
would I hang out with protesters? How long you know me? I'm in the mood to get hit in the head for people to hate me. I got enough problems. I got problems. That's what I want to do. Go down there and protest. But fuck fair trade. But listen, I don't make. What do you want me to do?
We got to figure out a way to do this. So we got to get you in a Comic-Con, and I'll sit you down for like a weekend and make you an instant expert on like one video game, just so you can talk shit to all the nerds. I'll do it. That would be the best. Oh fuck, that would be so funny. That would be great.
I wouldn't even know where to start. The lingo, the jingo. I wouldn't know where the fuck to start. I've seen these things for years. They've been around since I was shoplifting at Toys R Us. And I used to look at this shit and go, what the? And that's the truth, Ruth.
Hey, you know what's amazing too is you think about it, like,
oh my god,
like how much worse games were back then than they are now, like visually and all that, but they were still $50. That's almost never changed.
They never stopped getting paid.
Yeah, those guys. Okay, so Tom writes in his book that he went to go interview the creator of a popular franchise, right? And had a little office up in Silicon Valley, right? He goes up there, he pulls in, and the office just all the people who work, and this is from the top of the company to the bottom of the company that all work on this one video game. He said literally every car was a Lamborghini in the parking lot. Those dudes are making so much fucking money. It is unbelievable. Literally every car was a fucking Lamborghini. These guys were just ballers. And they make, that industry makes more than Hollywood. It probably makes more than porn. Like, it's crazy how much that, and it's funny because a lot of people like you, I could never get into that. It's not for me. But there's even people nowadays who have never played a single video game in their life except Madden. And every year they're in line at midnight to go buy the new Madden, or they go buy the new NBA game or their new Call of Duty. They might not touch any other fucking video game, but they're going to go buy that one. It's so ingrained in everything now. It's fascinating. Like, you just missed it by a couple of years, dude. Had you been born like 4 or 5 years later, you would know everything about video games. It's crazy if you think about it. You would know it would be because you would have started right when like, you know, Atari started taking over and all. I mean, it was crazy, man. Like it was like that was just what we did. You would go hang out with kids you didn't like just because they had a new game that you didn't have and you wanted to go play it. Like it was just that's it. Like it was like, oh man. We would go around and every kid in the neighborhood had a different game. So I got to go hang out with Tommy today because he has Metroid. And, you know, this kid over here has got, you know, and that was what we did.
I always had bad luck with games.
Oh.
When I was a kid, I always lose to my mother in Parcheesi. And she made me pay her. I stuck a bean from Please Don't Spill the Beans in my ear. I had to go to the hospital. I didn't have patience. You know what I got into? I got into shooting pool. I realized how crazy I got one day.
Right. Just competitive, you mean?
Yeah, I got very competitive at like a young age, and I said I can't feel that way.
Well, see, that's why
I stopped.
A game like this, there's no competition. It's all by yourself. That's why you would love something like this, or you could do something like this. So if you get crazy, then stay away from like the Madden games. Stay away from like because those are like the deathmatch games. Like Call of Duty, where it's like you and 5 other people against 6 other dudes, and you're just shooting it, and they're all talking shit on the headsets, and yeah, you know, and that's where he's like, I fuck you, yeah, that's when all that shit happens.
Now, can you just play by yourself?
Absolutely, that's what this one is.
No, what about the Call of Duty?
A couple of them have some online single player campaigns, yeah, but right now there's a game called Overwatch that I'm playing the fuck out of, and sadly that one is not. You have to play with other people, but it's the best. Like it's like crack, that game. All I do is play it I wake up, play for a little bit, then write some jokes, then come back and play. Like, oh, it's amazing. Like it's
how many hours a day you play it for?
Yeah, at least. Because I'll be up until about 3 a.m, not playing for sure. Oh, and I love it. It's
20 hours a week plus.
Oh, no question. It's like a job, dude.
That's what I'm saying to you, cocksucker.
I love it.
That's why I knew that was like I had to pick between all my vices.
Right.
If I play games, ain't nobody gonna suck my little nuts out.
No, it happens. It'll happen
on the headsets. I want a game to come over my house.
You know, several people have gotten married playing that game, Warcraft. Like it's just an online Lord of the Rings type game, right? And this guy, they got married in the game, and then people end up getting married in real life from it. Like it's crazy, dude. It's a culture in and of itself. Our video games. It's fascinating. I'm so happy that you're in one now. This is great, dude. I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna hear you.
Right, let's play after. Let's shut this down. We'll switch over to Periscope. And we'll watch Jerry LaRocha play the game for a little while and teach me how to fucking play. I've never played the game before.
I've never played this one, but I can. Once you've played one, you can get them. It's pretty good.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all right. I want to thank Blue Apron. I want to thank Primal Fuel. I want to thank HelloTushy.com. I want to thank my main motherfuckers over at Onnit.com. Always, never forget Onnit. I love their supplements. I love
Alpha Brain,
the Shroom Tech Sport, the Shroom Tech Immune. Always go over there and check out their monthly. Get 10% off. What do you put in there, Lee?
You put church.
CHURCH. Knock yourself out. Have a great weekend. See you in Las Vegas, or see you November 11th at the Wilbur Theater, or November 12th at the Foxwoods motherfucking casino. Stay black. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Jerry Rocha, love you. Where can they find you?
Just find me on Twitter at Rocha, ROCHA Comedy. Rocha Comedy, my website, jerryrochacomedy.com.
Lee Syatt, have a great weekend, my little brother. Be safe. I'm going to miss you in Vegas.
Have fun, buddy.
You too.
So was this just in and out like a couple of days, or was it?